So, on to Street Talk for this week.
And
Long week, what?
this is a week that felt like it could just have been an email.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Is that your summary of
Yeah.
this week?
Just give me the highlights.
didn't need to watch all that.
We didn't need to have this. We could have just.
Yeah, there
been
were
more
some bits
efficient.
that I was kind of sitting through, and we are like I said, we've got quite the number of episodes to get through because we are taking last Friday's episode all the way to this Friday's episode, and there was an extra Sunday one thrown in there, so we've got 7 episodes to go through. I hope that some of the listeners were able to enjoy last week's podcast before watching Friday's episode, because if not, which is probably the case for most people, they were sitting wondering why we weren't talking about things, maybe.
I don't think they were that bothered.
We are talking about Friday to this Friday. Lots to get through, but we have got to start off, as we always do, with some clickbait. Thank you very much to Jonathan for sending us a huge number of clickbait articles this week, but I have cherry-picked some favourites for you, Gemma. Starting off with the Liverpool Echo, who say, Coronation Street fans baffled by David and Shona baby detail. And then in inverted commas, typical soapland.
Is this to do with the fact that baby was enormous?
Yes, giant baby. Giant baby, exactly.
Tell you what I wouldn't want to do.
What?
When she gets older, buy her shoes.
Yeah, just imagine how wide that baby's feet could be. Yeah, I don't know very much about babies, but as soon as they revealed Harper to the world on, what was it, Tuesday's episode, I was like, she looks somewhat larger than she should. Especially, wasn't she born prematurely as well? Because they had to have the emergency, get her out quick so we can get this lump on her neck.
Well,
the lump off her neck, I mean.
Lumpectomy.
So she's what, 7 months old at the moment, but actually she could have been cooking a little bit longer. I'm gonna say because I'm backed up by these other Coronation Street fans online. Yeah, a little bit on the big side.
Imagine being 25 in 25 years from now, and looking up from when you were in Coronation Street as a baby, and everyone was like, this baby is enormous. And that's your legacy. It's like you're a giant baby. You're not even a giant baby. It's just you're just an innocent baby who happens to have been cast wrong.
I thought that sentence was going to turn into, imagine really caring about the size of a baby on Coronation Street.
It's important, isn't it? Because this is the discussion platform for talking about whether a baby is too big or not.
Were you making a pun about the name of the family there?
No. What was the pun?
Platform. I did.
Why don't they? That should be their new Platt chat. It should be platform.
I did think that it was quite funny that when the baby was introduced to the family, it gave them the biggest stink eye, didn't it? Just like, oh god, is this where I'm ending up? Take me back to the hospital. Yeah.
Be in the Platts.
Well, yeah.
I'd rather be in the Platts than some of the other families.
She's probably thinking, well, at least I get to meet lovely Audrey. Oh wait, no. Apparently not.
I'm a legacy character. That's what she
thought. Yeah, hooray, Harper is home at last. I never thought this joyous day would come.
Great. Now let's not talk about her for 12 years.
I would really very much like that if they just forgot that she existed
just
for
put her in
10 years or so. I've seen some people positing online that maybe Jodie is going to kidnap Harper.
With her. Yeah.
Because she signed up for this... baby forum at the end of the week, didn't she? Or yesterday's episode, and I said on the short, like, this is the what on earth is Jodie up to of the week for this week,
and
isn't it?
There's no resolution to any of it. This is the thing.
Yeah. Oh, Jodie's done something weird again. Sort that one out later.
Yeah. No one. There will be no. This isn't a story. It's just another weird thing that the Jodie's deciding to do.
It is. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
She's like, Jodie is like the writers. It was called Exquisite Corpse. I learned the name of the game.
Right.
Where you write a line and then you fold the paper over and you pass it on, and then when you get to the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't tell a story at all. This is just a random jumbled nonsense, crazy things that somebody might do.
I'm sure that there is an answer out there somewhere, we know what buried deep inside the belly of ITV Studios.
This is the thing. The only answer is that she's a bit bonkers. And we worked that out, how many months now? 7 months ago. We worked that out 7 months ago. We don't...
There are certainly some unresolved things though.
Like what?
Well, like her dad.
No one cares about him now.
What's going? Is the trinket box still an unresolved? I don't know. Or is this the answer? Just she just likes stealing things. She just like taking trophies from people that have wronged her.
Things. She just likes stealing guns. She just likes stealing footballs. She just likes writing nonsense and pretending that she's a victim of something.
I thought that this week, when Lily discovered the gun at the end of whichever episode it was, I don't know, because we bunched a load of them together to watch when we got back from France. When Lily found the gun, I was like, oh, that's a bit exciting, but no.
It's because there's no consequences for anything that ever happens.
It's utterly crazy to me that Jodie can get away with everything she's done, and Shona's just like, oh, come on, David, come on, she is my sister after all. And David's like, oh, okay, then, I suppose so. She can live on her house for a little bit longer then.
What's wrong with
like
all
David,
of
you? I can kind of understand just about Shona wanting to take pity on this sister, that she feels some sort of lingering guilt over how she treated her as, when she was younger. But David, no, look what she's done. She flipping, not only did she seduce you, it's been confirmed this week that she was the one who whacked Sarah around the head. She literally violently assaulted Sarah Platt, and everyone's just like, oh well, she can come and stay with us for a little bit longer, I suppose.
We've got more things to worry about, Shona. Our baby's enormous. What am I going to do with all these 3 to 6 month old baby girls?
Just imagine how big it'd be if it had that lump still on it. It'd be even extra weight there.
No.
Right. Next. Clickbait.
It's surprising to me they didn't bring her home. She's like, hello everyone, it's me Harper. Yeah, I've been at university and I've got a degree in medical science. What are we doing for this weekend?
I think they accidentally brought the lump home and not the baby.
No.
No, I apologise for that crass remark. Very cute baby.
Oh yeah, what's wrong with the baby's just big? So what?
It's just older than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's just older.
Look, if you want to nitpick about things this week's Coronation Street, then what you should do is nitpick the fact that when Jodie was writing on that mum's forum, and it said at the same screen, it was her first post that she was midway through typing, and also on a little profile on the border, it said posts 1. That should say post 0 until she'd made this first post that she was doing.
What kind of lunatics are running this
it's probably some
website?
Probably some Gen Z person working at Coronation Street that's never actually used an internet forum in their life.
Wow.
Anyway, I would never nitpick anything like that or a baby's size. So let's move on to the next clickbait, which is from the Manchester Evening News and goes something like this. Coronation Street fans spot Idris Nazir's next romance as they share Sam Blakeman concern. Now that's proper clickbait. That's proper clickbait, that is. No, Idris is not being accused of grooming Sam in this head story, but the headline certainly makes you think, doesn't it? So, who's Idris Nazir's next romance? What is the concern about Sam Blakeman, which is also Idris related?
Oh, God. Does Sam...
Come on, Gemma. Play the game.
I don't care. Does Sam want Idris to be going out with Leanne or not?
It's nothing to do with that. I think he seems quite happy with him for now. What's the concern about...
Next romance?
Yeah, who is Idris actually going to be binning Leanne for? Think about the only one other woman that's involved in this storyline.
Alia.
Not Alia, no.
Her nuncle.
No.
Whatever it is that they've come up with.
Who's the other woman in the story, Gemma?
Oh, God, not Abby.
Abby is the one. So Coronation Street fans online are saying that Abby is going to be the next belle of Idris's balls.
Look, I feel like... gross. I feel like Coronation Street makes everyone seem like demented perverts that are, like, chronically online. Because this does seem like the sort of thing that only incels will come up with. Whereby somebody looks at somebody else who's a member of the opposite sex, and suddenly they're going to have an affair with each other.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't know about demented perverts, but I tell you who's a pongy pervert. Tim. Was that your favourite scene of the week, Gemma, where Debbie didn't know who Tim was?
Here's my confession. I actually recorded that, and that's now my alarm in the morning.
Who are you pongy pervert?
Yeah, and I smile, wake up with a smile, and I say, Debbie's got his number, that pongy pervert.
Yeah, Debbie getting dementia, despite all the fan backlash, was all worth it.
You know, sometimes people tell the truth, don't they, when their guards have been removed.
So Idris's next romance is supposedly going to be Abby. I mean, I suppose she's got to have somebody, but is she going to go back to Kevin? I don't really know. I don't want Idris with... he can keep his grubby hands off her, quite frankly.
Idris
and she's already grubbed up enough from being groped by Carl last year.
Idris can just sit on his hands.
Yes, please. What's the Sam Blakeman concern related to Idris?
He's gonna... He doesn't like him.
No.
What's the problem?
They think that Sam Blakeman is going to be recruited to be Idris's next lackey.
What the hell are you talking about?
Can you imagine
Idris
Sam beating somebody up on the street and then him bunged a tenner by Idris?
Right, Brody, I've got a weird request of you. One of my tenants who owes me money has invoked the ancient right of a chess game to resolve our differences. Normally I just beat him up, but I looked it up and there is a law.
So instead of trial by combat, it's trial by chess.
Yeah, do you know anyone who's good at chess? And he's like, do you know what? You're not going to believe this.
I hope that Sam isn't lured away to the dark side. You'd think that he might be able to spot these things.
Do you know, it would be like that episode of the IT Crowd where they're all into countdown and they all act like they're some kind of street gang.
See, the thing with Sam at the moment is he was just banged up, wasn't he, for seeing the bad in people that wasn't necessarily there. Will, Roy, Megan was there, but he's possibly going to be a little bit cautious about who he makes judgments about, and if he thinks that somebody is doing something dodgy, he might think, oh no, it's just my schizophrenia playing up again. So he's possibly going to see Idris getting up to naughty things, but not say anything or not believe it. Exactly.
I'm too busy fantasizing about this chess street gang that I've made up. I love that idea. You know, like in the 90s or like the early 2000s when there were all these American movies about like urban youths and like dancing and basketball and all this like hip hop music,
or like Sister Act,
and like all these shots of like, oh, this is the cool one, here's the studious one, and then it's just a bunch of chess nerds all kind of fighting each other with like illegal street chess games, and they've got these like special spring-loaded chess boards that they can just press a button and quickly run away because the cops are there. You imagine Lisa Connor Swain breaking up she comes home, she goes, oh god, I've had such a bad day breaking up all these street chess games. Those kids, I wish they'd get back in the house and start playing computer games.
Well, there's a storyline idea for you, any writers that are listening. Next one. This is from the Yorkshire Live, and I included this. We don't often get the Yorkshire Live's clickbait, do we?
Them.
So what they have to say about this week's Coronation Street is this. Coronation Street fans all say the same thing as Idris Nazir's real plan confirmed.
What a bastard.
I can't actually remember what this one was now. I don't remember what it was. Let me have a think. You can start...
I mean, real plan. What's his real plan? Do you remember that either?
No.
Or was it just bamboozling?
I can't actually remember. I looked this up.
On your phone.
I looked this one up. I'm going to have a little bit of a look.
Can I just side quest then to the ridiculous prospect that Idris is actually Alia's uncle and not her cousin, as though anyone cares and it means anything to anybody.
I think that was maybe this was it. Yeah, it was actually. Coronation Street all say the same thing was indeed Coronation Street fans all saying, who cares? What difference does it make?
Weirdly, I could understand it if it was the other way around. Like, oh, everyone thinks that he's her uncle, but he's actually her cousin, because that opens a possibility of some kind of a romantic relationship.
What?
Because you can have a relationship with your cousin in this country.
Yeah, but I don't think
I don't think they would. Michael, I don't think they would. But it certainly doesn't close the same doors as being your uncle.
Well,
do you see what I'm saying? I don't think it is a good idea anyway. I think the whole thing's stupid. But it would have made you would have said at least maybe I see where they're going in the future.
It was just the most bizarre revelation, wasn't it?
And it's like, I've known this person for what, a month? He's been on the show. 2 months. I don't give a toss whether he's a cousin, an uncle, his dad's best friend that she called uncle because he was always around the house. I don't care if he's the bus driver that took her to school. I don't care.
I don't know what difference it makes.
No difference. What difference does it make?
Coronation Street at the moment is having a real risk of repeating story beats just a bit too much. Like we've
like a snowblower.
We've been whodunited to death,
yeah,
as it is. But this week we had yet another "I'm not your this, I'm your that," and this is the one that matters the least. So Debbie being revealed as Carl's mum. It was a bit retconny, but it had huge plot consequences, and we got to know Carl over the past year as being her brother, and off the show we were thinking, oh, they've got this brother living in Germany I wonder if he's ever going to be in the show. So it had a bit of an impact. And also, you got out all the old photos, didn't you, with Debbie? Like, is it going to have the same if Alia gets out than as it a family album?
Lovely looking at this photo going, God, all the time I thought he was my cousin.
Yeah.
And he's old enough to be her uncle.
Yeah, and then obviously you also had the big one this year of Jim McDonald being revealed to be Ben's father, so Ben and Steve are secret brothers.
That was like something new and different. Like, this is just like, I literally do not care. It's like, Daniel is Adam's uncle.
Yes.
So, what?
I don't know. I mean, it looked like they were going down the route of, because Yasmin kept this from Alia all this time, it means that she's more likely to want to sell up speed dial to him. But even that they backed down on, didn't they?
What is the point? Someone tell me what the point of this is.
I don't get it. And it's yet another sort of soap trope that used to be, when sparingly employed, effective.
Had some kind of
impact. When we found out that Ashley was actually Fred's son, that was probably the first big time it wasn't the first big time. We obviously had Betty and Gordon back in the 60s, but from my watching memory, that was the first one, and that was absolutely huge. And these two characters who'd we'd known for 4 or 5 years at that point, we'd really grown to love and care about, and it was really sweet that they were father and son, because they had this dad and son sort of relationship, even though they were supposedly uncle and nephew. It was lovely, and this is just like, what should we do for a little bit of a cliffhanger before the break? Let's just say that he's their uncle, okay? Well, that's how it felt.
It's like discovering that the shop around the corner you thought was a spa is actually a one-stop. Like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, totally. Who cares?
Inconsequential. I'm waiting for there to be I would love. Do you know what? I would absolutely love for Coronation Street to pull the rug from under us and reveal that this is so impactful that we're going to eat our words, because otherwise I cannot see the point.
Well, it's also kind of retroactively stabbed Yasmin in the back of it, hasn't it, as well?
How did it even happen? What happened?
Sharif, who we knew was engaged in a long-term affair with Yasmin's best friend Sonia, previously to that, he'd had it off with his brother's widow, I think it was, literally when the brother was just cold in the grave. And exactly, it was we know who Sharif is, but we don't know who anyone else there is. So it's not even like Jim McDonald, who we can say, would they have done this or not?
So what? A question mark on a family tree?
So, I mean, Sharif being revealed as being engaged in this massive affair was a huge stretch when it was revealed, wasn't it? This off-screen fling that he'd been having all the time that he was in the programme. And I think back then, whenever it was, I don't even know, I've lost track of time, we were like, really? Well, okay. But nowadays, I probably wouldn't even be surprised if they did that, to be honest. But the fact that when that was revealed, I think they said this week, because Ali was like, why didn't Yasmin say anything? She was too proud. Or it was something along those lines.
Nobody knew.
And I could almost get why Yasmin wouldn't have mentioned it to Alia then. But why in the scenes between Yasmin and Sharif was this not brought up? Like this, if my husband had just been found out to be having this affair, and he'd already had an affair many years ago with his
Yeah.
sister-in-law, wherever
Family,
it was, I'd certainly bring
Like,
that
you
up.
grubby little bastard.
It, and yeah, it's just going back into bits of Corrie's
So why-
history and saying, oh well,
and why
it
did
could
he-
have happened. It's Toya's dead baby all over again.
Why
really.
did Idris reveal this? How did this come out?
We'll find out when we get there. I just think he felt like it. He was probably saying, "Oh, I've been reading the people online, and they're not. The people are saying that Idris is a little bit boring at the moment.
Well, what if I was your uncle?
People's not very interested at the moment. A character, he's not that very beloved. I'm gonna drop a bombshell on you here, Alia, because that's how you get fans in the Corrie community. I don't know. As I said, you know,
stupid.
I had a big long rant after Idris's first episode about how many gits Coronation Street has been having as part of its roster in the past few years. But I did also say I wanted to give Idris a chance. But it's really, really difficult to find anything at all appealing about this guy. He's just a
I don't
scummy
mind
sleaze
him.
bag.
I don't mind him. I feel like we haven't seen Carl for donkey's years, feels like.
There hasn't been a whole lot of Carl recently.
And he's just
no.
Carl, isn't he?
Hello,
I'm your dodgy relative.
I still don't like him.
I know you don't like him. I totally understand why you don't like him. I'm just saying, Coronation Street seems to need somebody to be the dodgy weirdo, and it's like, oh, Carl's on holiday.
They seem to need plenty at once. Like, Jodie has got that covered, thank you very much.
Why not more? That's what.
Right, we've got more clickbait here. We will get onto the synopsising of 7 episodes coming up soon. But we're covering the main talking points first.
I know.
Manchester Evening News, got a couple more from them. Coronation Street fans know who really killed Theo Silverton, and it put Sarah Platt in the clear. We're still talking about this, Gemma, months after it happened. Just give me some names. And you're probably right.
This is like the JFK assassination, isn't it?
Yep. Who was it on the grassy knoll of Weatherfield? There's no denying that she hit him over the edge, is there?
It was Gary.
Yes.
It was Gary.
Gary is one of the options that people are mulling over. Did he actually finish him off because that leg did switch? Todd. No, it's Jodie. And I think people are just hoping that it was Jodie so that they can give her a reason to leave the programme. Finally,
I feel so bad for
Olivia Frances Brown. I know, so do I. Like, she's a lovely lady, and she's she to be given this part in the Platt family, who are one of the the most beloved clans of Coronation Street. It's amazing, but I think that she's getting nothing but hate online.
Most actors who go into a show and they get told, right, you're playing a villain, would probably think, fantastic, you're not going to take the job if you don't want to be a villain, and you're like, you're probably going to get hate online for it, and
it's only going to be a short stint, obviously.
I'm prepared for that, I don't mind, it's not me, it's the character, it's written that way, etc, etc. But imagine being a villain who everyone just slags off because they're boring and weird.
And don't seem to have any kind
of... no purpose.
No, I know. Final one, Gemma. Manchester Evening News again. Coronation Street fans make same complaint as they demand to know Lisa Connor Swain detail.
Oh, where'd she get that top from?
No, you know what this is. You surely must know the biggest question. What's happened to the Swain cat has been bumped well off and truly off the list. There was one thing that the Swallow fandom need to know in order to base, to put on their calendar.
I have to get a birthday card?
Yes. Why does Lisa still not have a birthday after being in the show for all this time? Ross had a birthday this week and he's only just showed up. Why does he get one and Lisa Swain is still left birthdayless?
I kind of think it's kind of I think it would be funny if she never had one. I know people get mad at me for saying that, but I think it would be really funny if... I know that somebody has plotted every single episode to see when she could not have a birthday, because surely it would have been mentioned. If she was
yeah. People have made a list out of the 365 days of the year. People have said, right, she's appeared, and all of these said none of those can be her birthday.
I don't think that's true. I think that they don't care about that. Like, even established characters have their birthday on the wrong day sometimes.
I'm pretty sure that it was canonically Toya's birthday, the day that she drove Imran into the wall, and nobody mentioned that.
No, there's other things on their minds. So. Also, Lisa is not the sort of person, like, she didn't even invite anyone to her hen do.
Yeah.
So I don't think she cares when her birthday is, so she could very well have had a whole day on in an episode where it was her birthday and she didn't bring it up. But I would think it would be really funny if on the final day that Lisa's in the show, when her leaving day, it is coincidentally her birthday and it's one of the days that she hasn't appeared on screen.
Okay, that's what we're going to do.
That's what I want for her.
I think that the Swala fans need to go down the Mad Hatter route and just have a very merry unbirthday for her celebration every single day of the year.
It is always Lisa Connor Swain Day on Twitter.
It is. Right. We have got some stories this week, Gemma, to tell you, and I've got a couple of new storyline titles for you. We're starting off with the Platt drama, which before, of course, we had as the Sarah Loudunnit. But we have got the gun in the mix this time. I don't know whether you saw these storyline titles because they were on screen earlier.
I didn't.
Okay. Know. So I got a couple just to test out on you.
Yeah.
So the first one, it kind of is based around the idea that Shona is part of this family, and there's been this pistol that's been found, and it's caused quite a lot of concern for some of the members of the family, including Shona.
Are you making some kind of vulgar pun on the word pistol?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm just joking.
No,
it's a weird word to use.
Sorry, Shogun Warrior. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, but then I thought that simplicity's sake, this family, a gun involved. Plat, plat, plat!
No.
Do you get that?
Yeah, I get it. Plat, plat, plat.
Yeah, exactly. So call it whatever you want. And I think the rest of them are probably ones that we've done before. We got the Tiana Ross story coming up next. Oh, no. A Nazir secret relative. A Nazir secret relative. Which is what we were just talking about. What? A Nazir one? Yes, a Nazir one.
Oh, is there going to be a point where it's significant in some way that what's his name? Idris has a kid and it's Ali's cousin.
If he had a child, he should be called Idris. Tyrone's another one. He's had another suddenly appearing relative this year, hasn't he? With Ross.
Just stop it now. It's actually stupid now. It's actually beyond stupid. It starts to become a bit feeble-minded.
Why can't they just be friends? Like, literally, why can't friends of characters just appear on the programme? Why do they have to be related? You're not making
anything exciting or interesting out of any of this as well. Like, you're too busy rushing to the next secret relative to actually do anything about the one you've already got. We've got secret relatives at home. We don't need to go out and get another one.
I've not minded the Cassie and Ross story this week, which has been all revolving around Tyrone's parentage, to be fair. But anyway, we have got a return of the Ashes Sienna Spark storyline this week.
Ooh.
Which I thought was a nice little bit of relatively...
Don't say relative to me.
Relatively classic Corrie, to use a phrase. Like, it was just them in their flat and having a bit of a romance drama. There was nobody in peril. There was no crime involved. Nobody was going to die. There was just a missing envelope. Yeah, and that's sometimes all we want for Corrie, wasn't it? The mystery of the missing envelope. Oh, it's in a drawer. Nice and solved by the end of the week. We had a little bit more of the Deb Mencher story this week as well. We had a few bits of Beyond to Choke, and last week Ollie had a couple of scenes. I didn't bother giving him a storyline title, bless him, because he only had about 3 scenes. So we will get that a little bit of a mention in the end.
If he was going to Brighton to meet up with his secret brother, then we should complain about it. But
maybe he's gone and nobody's noticed.
I wouldn't blame him.
He's taken the job.
I'm going before something weird happens to me.
Gemma, plat plat plat. Do you wanna take that one?
You have to hold your hand in a gun, but on the side.
On the side. Plat plat plat.
Plat plat plat.
Yeah, I'd really love you to take this storyline because I don't have the energy for it. We're going way back to last Friday, where it mostly revolves around Sarah in prison, getting various visitors, including... I thought this was still kind of fun. Maria, the Maria Gary drama was, to me, some of the more juicy bits of it, but that kind of fell off a little bit as the week went on.
I was saying to you before we started recording, I think Coronation Street if I was Corrie, I don't know what their intentions were with making Sarah the killer. I would be a bit annoyed at how this has all gone down because of their continual building stories that have no consequences for years and years and years, everyone's reaction to Sarah being arrested for Theo's murder is not to go, oh my God, Sarah's leaving Corrie. This is terrible. What's going to happen? She's a main character. Everyone's going, how are they going to get her out of this then? They're going to do some twists. It's going to be some kind of weird get out of jail free thing. Well, she either didn't do it or she's going to get out of it.
Well, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's either going to be revealed that somebody else was there and finished him off, or she's going to plead self-defense and we'll get away with it. And that self-defense narrative seems to be really spinning quite hard this week, doesn't it?
But she's admitting herself that she doesn't think that that's what happened. That's what gets me.
No, she said at the beginning it wasn't self-defense, but she's telling other people now that it was self-defense, and I think she's starting to believe herself it was self-defense.
Well, we've had that debate.
We have, yeah. I don't want to dredge up that again. You know what I think about that.
Everybody knows what we think.
Right, go on. Let's go back to last Friday, Gemma.
So Maria goes to visit Sarah in prison. She's wearing a netball outfit, and she sits down, and Maria says, "Right, Gary's told me everything. Why on earth was Gary? Why did you phone Gary?" And she says, "Well, because Gary's my friend, and Kit, my boyfriend, is a police officer." And she doesn't say what they both know is Gary's dodgy.
Right.
And that he, like, if you need someone to bury a body with you, it's like that thing, isn't it? Like, would your best friend help you bury a body?
Mm.
And
would if they were Gary?
Yeah, Gary's like, well, do we need to make the body first? He's up for anything. So Maria's like, she's not having any of it. She says, look, you know that Gary's risked everything for you, and you've broken up my family. And Sarah's like, no, I promise you, I'm not going to bring up Gary or you, and we're not together. Like, there's nothing between us. We're just really good friends. And Maria stomps off. She's not super happy about this, but I don't really know what.
I'd like to believe that Sarah is going to do the right thing and not bring up Gary here, but I think she's probably going to be cornered in a way that she kind of has to. Because people are starting to think, could she really have done this all by herself?
Well, I think that is like super misogynistic. Women can kill men whenever they want. We just choose not to.
Yeah. Kill men, bury the body, hide the murder weapon.
She didn't bury him.
Oh, no, she didn't do that.
She just left him there. Any woman can do that. A kid can do that. We thought it was Sam for ages. No offence, Sarah. You're not a criminal mastermind, are you? So, Shona gets a phone call.
Maybe that's what Idris is going to do to Sam when he's when he indoctrinates him.
Hit him over the head?
Well, no. He's going to make him into a murderer.
Yeah, chess murderer.
Yes.
Shona gets a call. Harbour's coming home.
Hooray.
And the nurse is like, I don't want to shock you, but you haven't been in for a while.
You might not even recognise this baby. A little on the large side.
Lisa's going to go out with Carla, but then she decides that she's got to, she gets a phone call because Sarah wants to see her, goes to see Sarah in prison, and she's very interested in the fact that Sarah's had a visit from Maria. And she also tells her that Theo's phone records have come back, and Sarah changes the subject and tells Lisa that Maria asked her if she did it. She said, Maria asked me, did I do it? I said no, but I lied because I did it.
That was quite
shocking, wasn't it?
Quite the bombshell, wasn't it? That Sarah has finally confessed that it's her. I mean, good job. Lisa was probably just, thank goodness for that. I get it wrong so much of the time.
Lisa's like, it's actually interesting.
I feel quite smug. No. And this isn't particularly a foreign concept or feeling to me, but I do feel especially self-satisfied that I got the right person this time.
No, Michael, this is Weatherfield Police we're talking about here. She's like, you're confessing that you did it. Well, we're going to have to release you because it obviously wasn't you. It's not that easy.
Well, if we're going to have to release you, arrest a few other people first, and then can you come back in again?
Yeah, are you free at the end of August? Not going away, are you? We wouldn't let you do that. So anyway, Sarah continues her confession. Lisa's recording it on her phone. And she's like, I didn't mean to kill him. And then I went to David and I got attacked. Nobody else knows. And Lisa's very suspicious and says, you know, well, why did you call Gary Windass in that case? And Sarah says, well, I barely remember it, to be honest with you. And it was definitely self-defense when I killed Theo. And I did call Gary, and he answered the phone. But then when he answered the phone, I was like, oh no, and I put the phone down.
See, that's
no. Then I talked to him about I talked to him about computer game. Oh, what was it? It was what's that game that everyone loves? It was Tomb Raider. No, it wasn't Tomb Raider. It was Grand Theft Auto. No, that sounds too violent. It was Forza.
Well done, Sarah Louise, for knowing a video game title. Yeah, so she has to pretend that she was on the phone for a while, doesn't she? Because she knows that if Lisa's got the phone records, so then it would show the length of the phone call.
Yes, that's right. So she wants Lisa to believe that, like, in the middle of the night, when there's a wedding going on, she's phoning Gary up after having murdered somebody, going, Gary, is Forza like a really violent game or can I give it to the kids? And Gary's like, let me tell you. I was reading an article about it the other day. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. How long would you have this conversation?
Lisa doesn't believe any of this, does she?
No.
And she asks what Sarah did with the poll.
Why are you phoning at this time of night?
And Sarah's like, I don't know. So that is still a bit of a mystery that is unresolved here, isn't it? About what has happened to the murder weapon.
Well, yeah.
Gary knows where it is.
I hit him. I called Gary. I asked him about Forza because they've paid us to mention the game on the show. And then
they've got to get their ad money from somewhere, haven't they? Because I don't know, listeners, whether you've heard this news, but Sainsbury's this week sold Argos.
Yeah.
So we might be having to say goodbye to
the
beloved
fans.
Connie and Trevor.
Yeah.
And the Argos fans on the street. I don't know whether the sponsorship that Corrie has is with Sainsbury's and Argos just comes as an added bonus.
I think it is Sainsbury's.
I think it is, yeah.
And then Argos went, can we get in on that?
Yeah, so anyway, look out for that.
So Lisa stops the recording, goes, this is all rubbish, don't believe a word of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the end of that.
It doesn't sound particularly convincing. I wonder whether Sarah knows or not where the murder weapon is, because you'd think that she probably would have asked Gary, but I don't know whether Gary would have told her. I think the way that
it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, though, isn't it?
The way that he was talking to Maria about this a few weeks ago, like, you don't want to know, I think he'd possibly deploy the same tactics for Sarah, and if she says where is the pole, you don't want to know.
It's probably in the attic or something. It's probably like, you know when you get a baseball bat and you kind of display it on like a stand, it's probably like that on his desk.
See, I quite like it when we as viewers know where murder weapons are hidden, because there's been a few good stories with that over the years, like I think Phelan, didn't he hide a gun in foundations of the orangery, double glazed orangery that we found out this week? And
did he get that back, or did he?
I think he did. I think he did. Obviously, the biggest and best one was when the crowbar that Katie Harris used to kill her dad was put in the coffin.
Yeah, that's an excellent.
That's an excellent story.
And then he got cremated. Sad. No, not really.
No, it didn't. And then you also had when Rob killed Tina, he was hiding that.
Yes.
That what was it? Crowbar around all over the place.
Yeah.
So it can be quite fun to know where something is and seeing people coming close to discovering it.
I do like that little.
But then, at the same time, I'm saying, this bloody hidden gun story is really rubbish. It's because that gun's not been used to kill anyone, has it? It's just shot a map. It's not quite so exciting.
Shot the Mulligan tyre.
But we are, at the end of this week, once again, left wondering, where is the gun? Because she's taken it away somewhere. Really maybe she... You can imagine if she's like, I've got a brilliant hiding place. I'm going to go and hide it behind the bins in Brewery Lane or something. And then she's like, it turns out there's a bloodied piece of scaffolding here.
I'm going to put this in my
Somebody
box.
got here first before me. Yeah.
She's like a little squirrel, isn't she?
Maybe this is how Jodie could get fingered for killing Theo at the end of it, that she accidentally uncovers it while she's trying to hide a gun somewhere.
She's standing there with the bloody pole in her hand going, oh no, it's not mine, the gun's mine.
Anyway.
Yeah, so...
That's a mystery for another day about where's the pole.
I'm just glad that the gun's been removed from the foundations of the orangery, because I think the way things are going for Betsy, it would be her that would be accidentally shot by it.
Yeah.
If it ever got
Well, she's already been accidentally shot.
Exactly. What's the second time?
Yeah.
So
continue.
David gets a call from Kit with the Platts around him, and he's stunned to hear that Sarah has confessed.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol's like, "What do you mean, Mum killed him?"
I thought you said Gary.
Harry.
Mum
Gary's
killed
like,
Phelan.
where are we at here? Am I still pretending I don't know? Oh no, what? So Maria goes to the pub, gets very drunk, and starts slagging Eva off, which was funny and
Been a
random.
few funny scenes this week that the Eva and Maria spat has still been ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, they've got history, haven't they?
They do.
They fought in a fountain at Eva's wedding because Maria slept with Aidan.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And her skin's still wrinkly all these years later, and that's why she's holding the grudge.
Who?
Eva, I don't know.
She's got wrinkly skin.
I know. I'm just.
You don't say that about a beautiful woman.
Fair enough.
Lisa goes Kit in the pub, and he's like saying, "Oh, it'll be self-defense, I guess."
Yeah, because he's now in a bit of an awkward position, isn't he? Where he's a police officer whose girlfriend has just confessed to killing somebody, so he's kind of has to take the stance of it must have had it coming.
When you're a police officer, if you want to be a police officer, you have to answer all these questions and have your family and friends investigated.
Right.
I don't know what happens if you're a police officer and then your girlfriend or whatever does a crime like this. Do you get fired?
I would have thought that a little suspension might be the sensible thing to happen here.
Well, I mean that's like. I mean, maybe I'm just
Doesn't
devious,
Lisa
but if I was a police officer, I'd just go out with a series of murderers so I can get time off work.
Doesn't Lisa tell him at some point it's basically
you're,
Sarah or your job?
If you're a police officer,
you putting it in ChatGPT.
I'm putting love officer, but that's not right. Police.
Right, I'm going to carry on this because this is going to go on forever, Gemma, this podcast, but
And
you do your little AI there.
Girlfriend.
So Kit's on the phone to Sarah later, and he is not happy to hear that she's refusing to name Gary into this. He was kind of banking on Gary taking the fall here, and he says, look, I need you, I can't lose you. So she says, no, I'm letting you go, but he's like, no, you're not, no, you're not. I'll look after Harry, I'll look after Bethany, don't give up yet. Jodie's helping too. And Sarah says, you need to keep Jodie away from the kids. She's bloody dangerous, she is. So Maria comes home. Gary's making the dinner later, and he wants to talk to her, but she's like, no, not talking about that stupid murdering cow, Sarah Platt, thank you very much. And Gary says, I wish that when she phoned me up that night, I'd missed her call. But Sarah's a friend, I had to help her, I'm yours forever, until you tell me to get lost. And so she's like, oh, go on then. She kind of tells us there for a bit and says that she wants him to stay. So, for the time being, Gary and Maria are back on again, Gemma.
I'm so happy.
What did you find out?
He wouldn't necessarily automatically get in trouble unless they knew that he'd been involved in some way. But if he was to stay with her, they might question his professionalism. Okay. There's a lot more to it than that, but I immediately that I wrote it, I didn't care what the answer was. So, where are we at?
Lisa leaves a message for Kit later.
Oh yeah, what you need to think about she says, I've just looked on AI and this is bad. Bethany is trying to reassure Harry that Sarah has not really killed Theo and it's just a big joke. And he wants to go and see his mum, but Kit stops him and says, look, it's really I know you're upset, but you can't go anywhere. And then Harry sobs in his arms that he wants his mum.
I've seen lots of people online giving praise to Kit for stepping up in the whole parenthood thing.
I've given it, yeah.
Harry.
I mean, that was one of my main points. And it's not so much that it's more the fact that most guys wouldn't do this, not that it's unusual behaviour. Like if he was if the genders were reversed, everyone would completely expect Kitty to be a mum to this child and be maternal and look after them. But because he's a guy, it's like, oh, how remarkable.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you think? Your daughter, it's like what Leanne's always tucking someone under her wing, isn't she?
I think that Kit clearly does. I think he had shown before now that he's got sufficient feelings for Sarah that he might take this on. He's not like Carl. He's not. Carl
couldn't get rid of him fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. He was horrible and scummy. But
no, well, he didn't like.
I don't think that this is, in an ideal world, what Kit would want to do. But I think that if he had, what would have happened to Harry? Would he have just been another one
Uncle David?
Yeah. He's not really his uncle. He's his brother. Yeah, no, it's not particularly improved my opinions on Kit.
Well, it's baseline.
I'll give him a nod of the head.
It's baseline. It's like I don't care.
He doesn't need. He said they'll look after Bethany, but it's like Bethany. I don't really think
Bethany's like a grown woman.
She's 25, 26 at this point. I think she can look after herself.
No, she can't. No, she can't. We know that.
Last time she was left to look after herself, she went up to Turkey.
Yes, and just got talked into a tweakment.
Yes.
On Sunday, Gary's going over the top with breakfast to try to make everything, it's all good again.
This is obviously what they do on the street, isn't it? You had Gary doing this on Sunday and then Cassie today doing a fancy breakfast just to try and cover over their sins.
This was actually a stealth advert for the National Trust. So he's like, David, call David up. Maria can't come in. She's got a bug. Because also there's a bit earlier where Maria's getting annoyed at David because David's going to have paternity leave for Harper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so she decides to take advantage of it.
Maria's like, you cannot have paternity leave for the world's largest baby. That baby can have its own job.
I don't know whether there's... obviously men are entitled to take paternity leave. I don't know whether there's a window that you have to take it in.
I imagine there is. Otherwise, you'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm not coming in. Got paternity leave. Me and my oldest to go into Ibiza to pull some birds.
But I would also think that David's probably used up his paternity leave for all the hospital visits that they were having over the last 7 months. But hey, he's the boss, isn't he?
The employee. I imagine that Audrey hasn't really got a very good grasp on HR.
No, she's too busy grasping Sylvain or whatever his name is in the south of France at the moment. She doesn't care.
Silver fox. What's that in French?
Le renard d'argenté.
So Lily's annoyed because David's hidden her console, and you've put that in inverted commas.
Yeah, I just put that in inverted commas because they were refusing to name drop which console it was that Lily's had confiscated, and they have. I'm sure that they do sometimes mention console names,
but they probably get paid.
Yeah, I hate that that's a thing.
Yeah, but I don't think it's weird. I think that I would sometimes I say to you, like, get your console, or
I don't think so.
We do sometimes refer to it as that. It's not like I go, with a laptop, I'm like, where's the Dell?
No, but I think with consoles, you name them what they are. I don't think you call them consoles.
You've definitely called it a console.
No, I haven't. A Switch is a Switch. And I think that there's probably what it's supposed to be, but we never actually see this console on screen, do we? This mysterious console. Although we did see that other. It was the character who was on this console a couple of months ago. I can't remember.
I'm almost certain that they believe, and I don't think they're wrong, that there is quite a lot of people who watch Corrie who, if you said, "Where's my Switch?" they'd be like, "A Switch for what?"
Yeah,
it's not an intuitively named machine, is it? It's like. It's better than a Wii, but it's not that much better.
I think this is probably what it's supposed to be. It stood out to me as clunky dialogue, I would say.
Where did you put my gaming machine?
Yeah, it came across a little bit like that.
So
it's the fact that it wasn't even just said once. It was referred to throughout the next couple of episodes as my console. He could have just said phone, because people say the phone, don't they? If she just said, "Oh, where's my iPhone?" that would have been odd. Anyway, I'm just splitting hairs here, so continue.
Shona says to David, Sarah must have killed Theo just before we found her unconscious. She truly is one of the greatest minds on the street, isn't she?
Yeah.
Then he gets a message from Kit. Shona quizzes Jodie about what happened on the night that Theo died and accuses Jodie of bonking Sarah on the head. She denies it. Harry has gone to visit Sarah with David. And Sarah's saying, "Look, I didn't mean to hurt Theo, and that's the main thing, it wasn't, but the court, depends what the court thinks, trying to
lying to your son, Sarah.
Soften it for
you did. We all saw what happened. He wasn't coming at you.
Yeah, but what are you supposed to get? Now, listen, Mummy really didn't like Theo. He was a big poo head. And sometimes when someone's a big poo head, you have to kill them. Okay, do you remember I told you that if somebody hits you, you can kill them? And I said, don't care what the teachers say. You have my permission. Well, it's kind of like that, except you didn't actually hit me.
Well, maybe this is going to be Harry's next story.
That's what we had a clickbait, didn't we? Saying Harry was going to be a murderer.
Did we?
Yeah. A while ago we did.
Oh.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Right, they talk about Joe. So they send Harry off, like, okay, you've had enough time on screen. Go and get yourself a drink or something. And then she talks to David about, oh, it was me or him. I had to defend myself. I thought he killed Todd. Then they change the subject to talk about Jodie, and Sarah says, I found her trinket box. I was about to look inside of it, and Jodie hit me on the head. I think she was trying to stop me from looking inside of it. What could have been in it? And we still don't really know if there's anything that significant in that box. There was a USB stick that got taken away.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff. By that point, Bernie's picture was in there. Brian's book was in there. I think Bernie's picture, had Sarah seen that would have definitely raised questions.
It's the only weird thing in there.
Yeah, there's other things that have got some sort of significant meaning.
But not to Sarah.
No.
If I opened a box and I saw a book and a...
Yeah, well, they later in the week wonder whether the gun was in the box at that time, and that's what Jodie was trying to stop Sarah from seeing. But anyway, it's this trinket box becomes, do
you think everything in that box has got a story, even if we're never going to find out what it is? Because it was just a load of junk, wasn't it? It was like stuff that you'd find in
that'd be quite
a dead relative's house.
Yeah, how did the prop people decide what to kit out the trinket box with?
Maybe somebody who works in the prop department is also a bit of a tea leaf, and they just have a box of trinkets that they've stolen from everybody.
They just transferred
it. So weirdly, I've got a stolen trinket box. Here you go. So anyway,
to ask why it's got a picture of Ian McLeod's head cut out inside.
Just like the picture. It's just a nice picture. So what can I say? What could be in the box? Jodie, meanwhile, is trying to convince Shona that she thought Sarah was one of the blokes.
Oh, yeah, that was her reason, wasn't it?
Yeah, so one of the horrible blokes.
I think at this point, Jodie has admitted that...
Yeah, I hit her on the head.
That it happened.
And Shona doesn't believe this.
Well, no, you wouldn't. That was ridiculous.
It's like, what, you thought that little blonde Sarah, who's clearly a girl, was a big, scary man?
I know that the lighting in these Coronation Street sets are a bit on the dim side at the moment, but surely not even you would confuse the two of them.
I was trying to save electricity, so I just hit her on the head because I thought she was a man. So,
despite all of this clear, flagrant, and obvious lying, Shona is still like, "Oh, you can still live with us, though. It'll be fine."
Well,
come on,
no, hang on.
woman.
She's like, I panicked and I was going to phone an ambulance, and then I got kidnapped.
I think that she'd said that about the kidnapping before, hadn't she?
What happened?
I don't remember.
Did she actually get kidnapped?
No.
Oh
I think
God.
that was the excuse that she gave at the time.
And Shona's
she
like,
says so many random things.
It's so funny because Shona was like, well, that's the last straw. You can't be getting kidnapped in my house. Get out. So she kicks her out of the house.
Temporarily.
Then David confronts Maria in the street later when he sees her coming back from this family day out. Like, what? You're supposed to be sick. Why weren't you at work? And she says, I just needed a day off. Leave me alone. I'm stressed because your sister's a murderer. Fair. Shona, meanwhile, is trying to call Jodie, but there's no reply. And then David comes in looking for this trinket box, and Lily is not. Lily ends up looking for the console and finds the trinket box at the end of the episode with the gun inside. Not that you'd be able to tell that unless you had it on your iPad and you turned the brightness up to 100%.
Yeah, we had to have a bit of a squint, didn't we?
At the end of the day, I just thought that must be, like, I can't even see where the gun is, but I assume she's found the gun.
Yeah.
On Monday, David and Jenny are getting ready for baby Harper to come, and Lily comes in wondering where Jodie is, and they tell her that she's gone, she's not coming back, and David doesn't want to hear her name mentioned ever again. Meanwhile, Nick and Bethany are getting ready for Harper's welcome home banner, and everyone's got party food ready, and Shona's getting really emotional and overwhelmed. And then, as they're having this party, Shona turns up. Is that right?
No, Jodie turns up.
Sorry, Jonah.
Yeah, she pops her head around the door going, hello, it's only me.
Can I have a cake? So she says, right, I went to the police station and spent the night there. I've been charged with assault and I've been let out on bail. And I didn't believe her, but apparently she did actually go and confess to this. And they let her out. They're like, well, Sarah's a murderer, so I guess it was, I don't know, civic service, and you're going to get Weatherfield Good Samaritan Award in the post.
Is anything going to happen based on it? Considering that this is what happens when Lou hit Gary on the head last year, and she's currently behind bars.
Yeah.
Like Jodie seems fairly chill.
Yeah,
with
I
the
know.
fact that she's been rumbled.
What was the guy behind the counter at the police station was
The
like?
counter. It's like.
What is it then?
I don't know actually. The desk.
What happened? I hit someone on the head. Who was it? A girl. Oh, so it was a girl on girl, was it? Was it sexy? Yeah, I guess it was. We're both quite good looking. Oh, well, that's not actually a crime. So you have to sit in a cell for a day and then you get let out.
Would they?
Did you film it? Oh, okay.
Would Jodie get sent to the same prison as Sarah?
Why not? Why not? Just send them all to prison. So yeah, so they tell her to get lost, but she won't, and she just stays there, doesn't she? She just comes and stays there.
Just
everybody else leaves, and she stays there. And yeah, Toya and Nick had come and blah 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 blah. Everyone's so happy about Harper.
Yeah, well, I've put, because I've kind of bundled all the Sam stuff in the Idris storyline, so all the stuff with him not being allowed to hold the baby is.
We'll talk about that another time then.
Later on.
So Lily comes downstairs. Jodie's there on her own, and so she says to Lily, "Can you put in a good word for me with David and Shona?" And Lily says, "Well, I found the box and the gun was in it." And Jodie's like, "Well, it wasn't a real gun, so what are you worried about?" Which, how would you know? If you're Lily, it's way more plausible she's got a fake gun than a real gun. We don't know whether Lily picked it up.
I know, and that's the thing, isn't it? Because we get to see at the end of the previous day's episode her opening the box and the gun being there, but I don't know. You probably.
Here's a question: if you found a gun in a box in your own house and it was hidden,
yeah,
what would you do? Or just anywhere? Say you were going through some distant relative's house who died, and you found a box with a gun in it. Would you pick it up?
I think it would be quite tempting to pick up.
I'd pick it up.
Would you put some gloves on or wrap your hands in a tea towel or something first?
I'd be like, this is going to be easy to frame me at some point, isn't it? But I'd pick it up and fiddle with it. One time, my friend had an air rifle, and I was trying to fire it and it didn't work. So I looked down the barrel and pulled the trigger.
That's a proper cartoon move, Gemma. Have you ever looked at a hose that's been blocked off at one end by somebody standing on it?
No, but I did stand on a rake continuously.
I'm thinking, would Lily have picked up the gun? I think it's fair to say that some children would see it and go, "Oh, it's a gun, I'm putting it back," and be scared to touch it.
Lily seems like more of a timid character now.
Yeah, old Lily.
Old Lily would have taken it to football and get a few goals out of it. Let me get out of the way.
Put me in goal. And she's just there shooting.
Come near me.
But I mean, do you remember when Max was a little boy?
I'm surprised they didn't give everybody in the Argentinian football team a gun.
Do you remember when Max was a little boy and he found that gun in Callum's house and he picked it up, didn't he? But
Did he look down the barrel and shoot himself in the face?
Didn't. He was brighter than you and Gemma.
I wasn't even that young.
But yeah, it was.
It's too tempting to look down that. It's very interesting. What's in there?
If only she had picked it up, eh? Then would she have been able to tell? Probably.
What?
That it was whether it was a fake gun or not.
I mean, you'd assume a fake one would be plastic, and a real one would be made of metal, but I don't know.
Well, when we get to see this, the actual fake gun, the next episode, I didn't like that because I don't believe it's actually very easy to buy a good quality replica gun. You can't just buy a toy gun because they got orange tips on the end, haven't they?
Yeah, where would she get that from?
Yeah, it's like really she had it delivered same day on Amazon or something. Yeah. Has she really got all these criminal connections that we don't know about that she's able to procure this gun like at a drop of a hat? I don't believe it, and I think this was some of what was making me just roll my eyes at this story this week. Going, oh yeah, really? Come on! Oh, would that happen? Don't. And Jodie she's slippery. She's just avoiding any kind of consequences for any of her actions constantly, and it's just getting very, very draining.
Bethany goes to visit Sarah in prison and tells her about what's happened with Jodie, and Sarah says, "Carla's coming to visit me tomorrow. I think I'm going to get fired." And Bethany says, "That's ridiculous. You've done nothing wrong." But even so, I can't believe you did this all on your own.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
it was Bethany that said that, wasn't it?
Of course you're going to get fired. You should be fired. I feel we say that was gross misconduct.
What?
Checking the employee handbook. Do not murder anybody. Can't I come in and say, listen, Sarah, you're not the first person I've had to fire for murdering somebody. Uncle Stephen got fired. You should. I can't show favouritism.
And it's not like she's hiding the fact that she did it now, is she?
No, she's confessed to murder. And she's sitting there going, well, I hope I don't lose my job. Well, you're not getting paid to sit in prison, are you? What work are you doing in here?
To be fair, Sarah,
They say work from home. It's not work from prison.
like your the end of your time at Wonderworld has been long overdue. I still, after all these years, don't buy that she's a good fit.
No,
there.
It was like when Sophie used to wander around the garage with a clipboard in her hand. You're like, you don't know. You've got a sheet there that probably says car and motorbike, and you tick one of the boxes depending on whether it's a car or a motorbike.
Yeah, you can't tell your boot
what else
from
do
your
you
bonnet.
know? What else do you know about cars?
Sarah has never ever struck me as the type that is
Good at anything.
not just interested in fashion enough, or just be in any way business minded. I just don't buy it.
She's very fashionably dressed. And it's not really fashion, is it? I'm sorry, but underwear is a completely separate category of clothing.
Yeah, we do
It's
know
not
that
fashion.
Sarah has got a few sexy undies.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
she's
it's
had
like-
to be doing a bit of seducing in the past.
I don't imagine that there's that much fashion going on in underwear. Like, what has evolved since the racy red one and the sexy black one and the nude one? Because I don't want you to see my bra under my shirt.
This is why you're not involved in the fashion industry, Gemma.
Well, this is why Alia had to steal that money
Carla would tell
to
you.
come up with a £10,000 embroidery machine.
Anyway, Sarah, she's worried about her job, but it's because she's confessed to killing, but she hasn't confessed to murder, has she? And I think that's what she's been charged with, isn't it? Which is why she's probably going to get away with it, because they'll say, oh, it was just self-defense, so it wasn't murder. Off you go then. And it feels like that we're going down this inevitable path. It'd be an absolute mega twist if she's found guilty and permanently incarcerated. But like you said earlier, I just can't see it happening.
No. Anyway.
Which kind of sullies my opinion of the story, because, and I know I've done it lots of times before where I've complained about something that is inevitably going to be happening and then I've ended up being wrong. That's always happening.
Don't you get tired of it?
I really can't see Sarah not
happened?
getting away with this.
Back at number 8, Shona tries to get sympathy for Jodie from David, feels guilty about abandoning her, and so that Jodie hasn't got anybody, forgetting conveniently about her dad. And David says, well, look, it's not our fault. She's got no friends. It's her fault.
It makes
and
zero
then eventually
sense that Jodie is allowed to stay after everything that happened. It's so frustrating.
He seems to back down, and then later on, Lily and David are sitting on the sofa, and he's like, you seem a bit quiet, you're right, Lily. And Lily says, where's Jodie? She's got a gun.
Shocking twist.
So then,
not twist.
Tuesday, David and Shona are looking all over the house for this gun, and they can't find it. Then we get to see.
By this, I presumably, again, like, should Lily have moved the gun, or was she right to put it back in the right place? Has Jodie kind of got in there early, I suppose, and moved it from the place under the, where was it, in the kitchen, where she'd hidden it before?
So,
maybe Lily should have just taken a photo. Kids love taking photos of everything, don't they?
She should have done a TikTok.
It's very Instagrammable, finding a gun in your kitchen.
Do a TikTok dance with the gun. Surprised that's not more popular. So, Carla tells Lisa, I'm going to go see Sarah later. And Lisa says, oh man, this is one of those famous conflict of interests I hear about. I always thought they were a myth. But she says, well, you know, it's a bit awkward, but I guess you are her friend. And Carla's like, no, I'm going to fire her. No, she didn't say that. But are they friends? I don't know. David and Shona tearing the house apart. Jodie rings them up. And David says, right, get her to come back so we can find out where the gun is. Get her to say. So she comes in and David's like, right, where's this gun? So Jodie says, I'll go and get it for you. Theatrically sighing. And goes upstairs, comes back down again with this gun. And pulls the trigger, says bang. And it's fake. It's a prop from an Amdram group. What Amdram group are you in? Jodie, lying again. She's on a forum going, oh, I've always wanted to be an actress, but my baby's got a lump on its neck and I can't do it now. Can someone lend me a gun?
I think she's been talking to one of the background artists on Coronation Street, one of the extras.
Mm.
So then,
about what?
where's
the guns? Groups. Where's the prop groups? Where's the prop? What's it called?
Prop
cupboard.
Store.
David grabs it off her, and he's confused, and he's like, "Well, hang on, why did you hit Sarah over the head about this fake gun to hide the fact you've got a fake gun?" And Jodie's like, "No, I actually did think Sarah was a bloke." Rude. Jodie says,
from behind, she really looked like a burly man.
She just looks so tall and manly from behind.
Had this exuded this masculine aura.
Yeah. What happened was the moonlight bounced off her long blonde ponytail and gave the impression of a giant man. So I had to. It's weird. Honestly, it is weird though, David, because when I think back at it, I kind of aimed quite low for the fact it was a girl and not a man. But anyway, I nearly killed her. So
she also did this big beefy fart and that kind of man.
She went. Sorry, I tried to kill her. It's just an annoying sound.
I think next time David goes to the prison, he needs to be like, Sarah, can you just stand up and
turn
around 180 degrees just so I can check out your ass?
And she says, do you know what, David? I'm fed up with this. Everyone keeps saying to me, I keep getting called out for being in here. This is women's prison. And they keep saying, what are you doing in there? You should be at the other one for men. And I say, no, I'm a lady. From the back. I don't understand. That's why I've got this long ponytail, but...
It just doesn't make... It makes no sense.
Nobody's interrogating
Nobody buys
Jodie's.
this, but...
Nobody's interrogating Jodie's stupid... Do you think they're just astounded by her audacity and they just go with it because it's...
I kind of wish, not that I'm, willing more police station scenes onto this show, but I would quite like to have seen Jodie's confession and what sort of questions they might have had for her about it.
Well, she's not even going to be able to admit half of this because they'll say, what do you mean, a bloke? And she'll say, yeah, funny story. These two men came after me.
Oh, yeah.
And they were credited they were in the credits as bloke 1 and bloke 2. So that's why I call them blokes.
Yeah.
She can't say, yeah, I was being chased by a gang because I got a USB stick full of incriminating information about a haulage company.
You're right. Doesn't make sense.
What would she say? What did she say? What would she say to them? Maybe she just went in there and go, listen, Sarah's a massive bitch, so I hit her on the head. Any questions?
I suppose you could just say, I thought that it was an intruder in my house, because it isn't Sarah's house, is it?
No. She doesn't need to have said she thought it was a bloke.
No.
I think she was just being bitchy. Anyway, so she says, I've got this fake gun for protection. And David's just like, absolute bollocks.
You asked Dylan how carrying a weapon for protection goes for you. It didn't turn out so well for him, did it?
What are you going to be doing next? Choking someone? No.
I thought it was funny. Was it on our Facebook group where somebody, one of our American listeners, pointed out all this hoo-ha over a gun being found in the house is just like, what?
I know, it's a bit like Maiden Auntish, isn't it? Like, what is this? You shouldn't have this in a house.
I think that lots of Americans, to be fair, would have the same reaction if there was a gun. Just because you're allowed a gun, it doesn't mean everyone finds... Nobody. It's not like everyone's cool with it. It's not the same as having, they've got a knife in their kitchen. Oh, yeah, of course they do.
Yes, we've seen Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. Like the gun episode of The Simpsons when Homer gets a gun and Marge is horrified about him having one. Not all Americans think it's okay, but... No,
but you should watch... If you want to see a more relaxed attitude to guns, you should watch the Peep Show episode where they get a gun.
I don't remember that one.
They call it Gunny and take it in turns to hold it.
Oh, yeah, I do remember Gunny. I do remember Gunny because it reminded me of Brian Packham.
Right, so... Lady comes home and she's like, no, it wasn't a plastic gun. Why would she have lied about it? Why would she say it didn't exist? Jodie is a weirdo. She's cut to the quick of that, isn't she? Mm-hmm. Nick is being sarcastic towards Lisa in the pub about the fact that she arrested Sarah.
Oh yeah, see that this caused some drama of by Lisa defenders saying, quite rightly, I would also add, Nick is moaning that Lisa's got
arrested
his sister banged up, despite the fact that she has actually confessed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick, you don't really have a leg to stand on there, do you?
It's like, she should get away with it because she's a Platt. So Lisa says, sorry, this is a horrible situation, but I'm not quitting my job because Sarah's decided to kill somebody. David and Shona head off to bed early, leaving Jodie with Lily in the lounge.
It was bright light outside, wasn't it?
I know. They're like, oh, yawn. It's 8:30. See you later.
What time does the sun set at the moment? It's still
about 9:30.
Yeah. And it was like proper daytime outside.
It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. And they're all going, oh,
I'm so tired.
Yawn.
Why can't you turn, excuse me, the lighting, could you make it look dark outside at least?
It's not like that like when Lily found the gun in the box, it was a nighttime scene. It was almost like they started filming the scene and then realised they forgot to change
Turn the lights off. We haven't got any money. Keep going.
You can only do one
Just say it's early. Leaving Jodie and Lily in the lounge, and Jodie says to her, look, can you keep it quiet about that box, please? I don't want to stress your parents out. And Lily says, I'm not dealing with this. It goes to bed as well. I think it's just an indictment on Jodie's terrible personality that everyone's like, oh, wow, what time is it? Oh, 7:30. Gosh, I can't believe how tired I am. See you later.
Yeah, I've had my fill of Jodie. They get how the viewers are feeling.
Oh, wow. This morning was great today, wasn't it? I'll turn that off and watch the lunchtime news and go to bed. So Jodie, she goes away. So Jodie sneaks off, grabs the real gun from on top of the kitchen cabinet because you definitely want to store a gun high up in the kitchen in case there's a fire, just for excitement. Puts the magazine in it, wraps up in a towel, and goes off. Yes,
that was a classic soap. I'm just going to show for the viewers' benefit. I do still have a real gun, and it is a real one because it's got a little magazine of things that you can put in it. So
bullets, yeah.
Where's she hidden it now? Who knows?
Wouldn't you feel I know I shouldn't say this, but wouldn't you feel so amazing if you had a gun and you were walking around the streets of Weatherfield?
No, I'd be terrified.
I'd be like, come on then, come on, have a go.
No, it was like when I had to buy that knife, that filleting knife from the butcher's, and I just had to walk from the shop to my car, and I felt like oh my gosh, I've got a gun. I got a knife. I got a knife wrapped up inside my coat pocket. I could do anything, but I didn't. It was very nerve-wracking.
No, you didn't, did
if I was Jodie, like, does she need a gun? I would just go and put it back under that car's hubcap and just say, let's just pretend none of this happened. Or has she gone and framed somebody for something?
Yeah, I don't know what she's got this gun for. It's really intriguing. It's gonna something exciting has to happen, please, with this gun.
It's like I suppose with her past, with how she came into the programme, the blokes, there's not an impossible chance that she's going to find herself in a dodgy situation where brandishing a gun might come in useful. But you can't have the heavies accost you and say, can you just wait there a minute? I just need to go to my secret hiding place to go and retrieve my revolver.
You come out and you go, now you think this is a towel, but it's not actually. It's a gun. So Wednesday, Jodie sees Lily and Harry in the precinct, and Lily says sorry about telling David about the gun. And then some horrible kids start making fun of Harry for having a mum who's a murderer. So Jodie joins them later and sees that Lily's got grazed knees because they had sort of a scrap with these lads.
Couldn't show it on screen.
Why?
Can't get kids to pretend to fight each other.
You should just do it for real. Kids fight each other all the time. So Jodie goes and sees the lads and tells them off and says, I've got a gun in my bag. And then she pulls out a phone and they're like, oh, and she goes, has and losers. And she takes a photo and says, if you are horrible to these kids again, I will shoot you in the face.
I did quite enjoy
that. Was quite fun. See, this is what I mean. How cool would you feel if you had a secret gun? I think it makes you feel powerful. They go back home later and Harry's got this ball, and we know that the ball was the ball that the kids had, and that Jodie's taken their ball off them.
She's always nicking things off kids in the precinct. She took that laptop once, didn't she?
Do you think
that girl?
Do you think? Yeah, she did. So, but do you think it's not quite as thrilling if they see you take it? Do you think she says, "Right, I'm going to steal this football off you, but I want you to turn around"?
Why?
So I can take it without you seeing me, and then she grabs it and runs away laughing. So yeah, he's got the ball. David sees Lily's knees, and Lily says that Jodie saved them from bullies, and David's like, oh, I don't care anymore. On Thursday, Shona is very sad to leave Harper alone. Not alone. Well, she's big enough. She has got to go to work. And Jodie is... What happened to
She's a
David's
qualified
paternity
nanny.
leave?
Yeah.
He's like, I was taking Sunday off. Okay, David, knock yourself out. So anyway, Jodie says, I'll look after her. And then she does. And then when Shona comes back, Jodie gets annoyed because Shona wakes Harper up. And she cries and fusses. And Jodie's starting to look like, oh, I like stealing things. I could steal a baby.
Put a baby in my trinket box.
Yeah.
Poke a couple of air holes in. Job's
Yeah.
a good one.
Put the gun in there as well, just to keep it safe.
Yeah, the baby needs it for its own protection.
Yeah, like, right, okay, baby Harper, I'm going to leave you for a few hours now, but I've got to put a gun in there in a bottle, okay?
And if you do end up shooting and killing somebody, just say it was self-defence.
So they were coming
it
straight
worked
for
through
you.
Auntie Sarah.
Mind you, Sarah's smaller than you, so you might not get away with it. Right, so Jodie signs up to some message board with the username Shona Says, and she's writing about how she had a traumatic birth and the daughter has serious health issues. She doesn't get very far because that's when she gets interrupted.
So this is like her doing her trolling again, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, I don't care.
Like, oh god, I don't want to be horrible, but does anybody really care about Jodie at
Jodie
this
needs
point?
to be given access to ChatGPT so she can just tell it a load of crap and it will go, wow, amazing.
Is that how this ends, is it? Is that the
Yeah, I mean,
the
to be
end
fair,
point
that's
of the
what I do.
story? Jodie discovers AI. Look, let's...
Look, I'm going to stop being negative now. What's the point? I came into this podcast wanting to be upbeat.
Well,
Believe
we
it or
got
not.
this story out of the way. I think that it was the weak part of the week. I enjoyed the Cassie storyline more, so let's move on to that a little bit, shall we? Although, you know, it wasn't without its faults.
Can I just wonder aloud? Have we got any Jodie fans in the house? Can you please
Make yourself known
known?
and
I don't want to
explain
be
yourself.
No, I think everybody has, you know, whatever. I just want to. I am interested.
Well, I think sometimes it's okay to be, you know, comedically and exaggerately ragging on a character when you feel quite confident that everyone is nodding along.
I mean,
But if there's a kind of a big hardcore Jodie massive out there,
yeah, we need to know.
yeah,
We don't want to
tone
get
it
beaten
down a
up or
bit.
shot with a fake gun.
No, exactly.
I mean, I think the biggest turnaround I've had recently is on Lauren.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do not ever rule out anybody being, you know, going from I'm not fussed on you to I actually think you're pretty decent.
No, exactly. It's not necessarily Jodie on her own. It's just the way that they're using her.
You're right. It's the way that she goes, so what? I've got a plastic gun in a secret box hidden under your bed. And they go, yeah, you know what? I don't know why we're being uptight about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's that. That's the main thing.
It's like she's got some kind of hypnotic power.
Ty and our Ross story, Gemma. So on Sunday, which is when it all kicks off, Fizz is asking Steve and Cassie to keep an eye on the girls today. We learn that Ross wants to chat with Tracy later in the pub. I don't think a huge amount happens. That Steve's playing hangman with the girls later, which apparently they've got a different name for it or something, have they? I don't remember. But anyway, Cassie comes into the lounge. She has found this app, right, where you can slag off your ex-boyfriend because she heard, was it Fizz talking about how the girls have got a Rate Your Teacher app?
Yeah.
Don't like this. What on earth? It's the summer holidays. Just leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
I think that anything that is a website... These things exist, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Where you can write reviews of your teachers. We're not an
Don't
Airbnb.
look at it. Don't look at it.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to know. But I think it's absolutely
it's
dreadful.
really,
I think it is incredibly disrespectful. And, well, I mean... Did they have...
Don't think about it.
I suppose they do... They do have things like Rate Your Doctor as well, can't you? Because I suppose, you know, you can... On Google reviews, you can find any kind of business or whatever.
If they've set up a Google business account.
Yeah, and review it. But I
understand the existence of these ex-boyfriend things can be useful to some people because
boyfriends, why not?
There are some men who are dangerous and manipulative, same as women, who it would be handy to have been, you know, wish I'd known that before 5 years later and 3 children.
And equally, if you would like to use the Rate Your Teacher app to flag that your PE teacher, Miss Walsh, is a massive pedo, go right ahead.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
if you're just mad at your teacher because he gave you extra homework or he was a bit grumpy one day,
or they complain,
you're going to give him a 1-star review. Sorry, that's not on.
Yeah,
defend your teachers.
These apps aren't really good for society, are they?
Anyway, Cassie has found this Rate Your Boyfriend app and she has uploaded a photo of Ross to it and is fairly confident that women are going to come flooding to dish the dirt on him. So a bit of a foolproof plan there, apparently.
Why doesn't she give a review?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, just to get the ball rolling.
I don't understand that everything that happened, right, should have stopped the moment that Cassie said, I was raped by him when I was 15 years old. Everyone's like, well, it was a different time. It was different. And, if he paid you, then... I mean, what are we talking about?
None of this had even happened, and I think
we've gone back in time.
Both of us were questioning Cassie's behaviour somewhat this week, weren't we? Thinking, why is
She's being a massive
why is she not
pushover?
Yeah, why is she not dishing the dirt?
I think
more overtly, and like you can say, well, maybe, but Cassie would do that. So that's
the justification here is that she's been traumatised by this man, which makes sense. But the trouble is that Cassie has been depicted as somebody who faces trauma in a very aggressive way.
Yeah.
And so suddenly she's kind of... I mean, he is physically intimidating even now when she's not a 15-year-old girl anymore. But I just thought that the whole thing was absolute pants. And they go, oh, but he said that he was goaded into it. Well, was Sarah goaded into killing Theo? We're giving excuses for all these criminal activities we're doing it.
We're not that far yet, Gemma. We're
I just thought
on the bit where she's pussyfooting around trying to get somebody else to slack him off.
Sometimes I just think the plots don't make sense to the characters, to me. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, Cassie's not this character. Tyrone and Fizz aren't paedophile apologists. What's happened? What's happened here?
I know.
It's just, we know what's happening. It's facilitating a storyline.
It felt like it was just... The whole thing about this boyfriend app felt like it was just filling up screen time, really, because you have this Alison Shipley turn up on Monday, who is apparently an ex-boyfriend of ex-girlfriend of Ross, and Cassie's all excited because I don't know what she really expects is going to happen, but she thinks that Alison's going to come up and say what a terrible misogynist, awful guy Ross is. But actually, when she does show up, she says, oh, actually, he's a decent bloke. And then it's just kind of quietly dropped. And were we supposed to believe that Ross had a word with her beforehand? Or was he intimidating towards her? Or was he a nice bloke?
Ross has this week had the special power of intercepting a plan made against him and immediately coming up with the perfect rebuttal that only makes the other person look worse. Because... He either contacted this woman and told her what he told Cassie in the alleyway, like, I'm going to beat you up, so keep your bloody mouth shut. Or he contacted her, put her off, and hired a replacement.
Yeah, a bit of a Tina Wardley situation.
He just this week Ross was some kind of supervillain.
Well, he did have the soap power of omniscience, didn't he? Because he was there just so happening to be listening round the corner outside the pub when Cassie explains her plan to Steve, whoever it was.
Well, luckily the way that Cassie spoke when Ross was overhearing her, he could perfectly tell her plan from everything she said. Which often I do. I like to say quite loudly what my plans will be.
Well, anyway, this Alison turns up and said, oh, he was actually a decent bloke. And then she buggers off. To be fair, a lot of what we've seen from Ross, he does seem like a decent bloke, and I'm not being an apologist for some of what he did. Clearly not, but mostly I can imagine that he has had plenty of relationships that have just been fairly normal, and he's not been threatening or aggressive or nasty. Can you?
Well, I mean, we still don't really know who this Alison is. Will we ever find out? Don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, Cassie's pretty narked about how that turns out.
He just continuously makes her look like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's also bizarre that nobody's listening to her because she doesn't have a problem with credibility, and perception. She's got problems with lots of other things, like poisoning people and being a drug addict. But she's not notoriously bad judge of character and a terrible liar. So why aren't they listening to her? They're like, well, you would say that because he assaulted you when you were 15, so of course you've got a grudge. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. Why are we? It's just really weird that Coronation Street's had all these grooming storylines. Imagine if this conversation had happened in the pub, because why not? Why not have a conversation about being molested as a 15-year-old by Ross? And
Will had been there.
Will or Ben had overheard this. What would they say? Oh, it's all right if she was being pimped out. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
15 and 18, that's fine.
I don't really get...
What are you talking about?
I don't get the mixed messages here, because Corrie does seem to be wanting to ram it down our throat this year, as if we didn't know already.
Yeah, did you know?
That grooming somebody underage to have sex with you is not really a very good thing.
Did you...
They had it with Will, they've had it with Tim, and now they've had it with Cassie. It's just like...
But it's fine when it was her.
Yeah, and that's what doesn't make sense. But it's like what I was saying earlier about them just going back to the same old stories. Another one, how many characters have we seen in prison this year? We've had Summer in prison, we've had Debbie in prison, we've got Sarah Louise in prison.
Lou in prison.
Yeah, well, she went there last year.
Well, yeah, but she was in there with Debbie.
It's that there's a really, really... Unless they're saying, oh no, this is just the theme we're going for this year. They're just returning to the same well again and again and again. Except, what they did this week with Cassie didn't make sense or follow on, because everybody just seemed to get over it. And
it's also funny because when everyone found out about Megan, they were like, oh, vile, terrible, awful, shun her. And Ross is like, well, he was, he got goaded into it by his friends.
Can we just wait until we get there? Because we're nearly there for the big reveal. Tuesday's episode mostly revolved around the fact that Ross has got a job offer at Highfield Prison. So he could be...
You heard it's where all the action is.
He exactly. Everyone goes there. It's the hip place to be. And so he's maybe going to be hanging around. This is the man's prison. Yeah.
And the women's prison is Norcross.
Yes. So this is the prison where...
Do you know what?
Where Rob Donovan is.
I remember with great fondness the time I didn't know that.
I know. I've got no idea whether Ross is going to be staying on the show. I'm presuming not, because they're making him another horrible piece of work and he's probably going to get his comeuppance at some point soon. But when I heard that he was going for this job at the prison, I was thinking, yeah, he probably shouldn't they? Why not have somebody work at the prison? They had Daniel there, didn't they? Working at the STC, and that was very useful for storyline purposes. But I don't need this. But anyway, he's going for a job offer at the prison. And Cassie's just kind of narked off that everybody seems to think the sun shines out of his bum, and Steve says, look, just bide your time. Ross is going to show himself up. We'll just wait and see. So Wednesday comes around and they discover that it's Ross's birthday today, and Lisa Swain's there in the corner saying, but when it's going to be mine? Connor Swain actually. And Tyrone says, oh, you should come round for your dinner tonight. We can have a big party. And Fizz says, yeah, he can bring Tracy along, and Cassie, make an effort, please. So when the party comes along, Cassie is just kind of coping with it by boozing her way through the thing. And when Hope brings out the birthday cake, Cassie just ends up kind of slow clapping at the end of it, and then reveals that this... what does he say? Ross has said that I'm the luckiest man in the world, and Cassie's like, oh yeah, and the sleaziest one. And she says, I kept me gob shut long enough, and announces that Ross was not a one-night stand. I was a 15-year-old girl, and he paid me for sex. And so that's where it all comes out. And
well, I'm just happy this wasn't Hope or Ruby's party. Because
Why?
you've ruined it now. It's not appropriate.
The fact that she was 15, and I think Hope is 15 as well, isn't she?
No one cares. No one say sorry, but nobody's...
They kind of politely care for a bit.
Well...
But they get over it pretty quickly, don't they?
This is bonkers. This is absolutely bonkers to me. This is bonkers. Go on.
I don't want to excuse him. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what their
The
reasons.
less said, the better.
No, I'm trying to figure out what the character's reasons could be. So he said for
I didn't know.
brushing it under the carpet. He says that he didn't know, which, you know, as we've already learned recently from the whole Dylan shebang, that's not necessarily any defence in our eyes. He says that he was goaded into it by his squaddy mates.
I don't believe him that he didn't know. 15 is very young.
Yeah. I mean,
and also too, I mean, some in different countries and different states in America, the age of consent, it varies.
Well, even across in Europe, it does. Like in Germany, it's I think 14 or 15, I believe, unless it's changed.
But like here, it's 16. So you know, you can say, well, if she was how many months? 15 and how many months? If you start saying that, then you should just go to prison and save everyone the time.
What the big difference here, I guess, between this storyline between Ross and Megan and Trisha is that he didn't know, and I believe him that he didn't know.
Okay.
I would believe him that he didn't know. I mean, wanting to end up.
Let's not talk about.
No, but he wants to go to bed with a woman. He thinks he's going.
I don't care. There's no point in talking
Trisha
about this.
and Megan were preying upon and grooming these children who they completely and utterly knew were underage. It was, for Megan, it was a long-term thing. I can't remember how many times Tim and Trisha were supposed to have got intimate. No, I don't know whether I can't remember whether it was just kind of a one-off fling between them two or whether it was something that went on for a bit longer. I
you don't
don't
need to
know.
defend Ross. We don't need to.
But no, I'm not. I'm just trying
to.
I'm trying to get behind why everybody there, why all the characters would say, "Oh well, I suppose we'll let him off," but it doesn't really wash
the
for me.
The fact that I can understand it if you were detached from knowing children or having any contact with kids. But the fact that you've got Hope there, who's 15 years old and looks like a little girl and acts like a little girl, I don't know how you can sit there and go, oh, it's fine. Like, you've got the proof in front of your face that this is a 15-year-old girl and this is what he did.
Mm.
I think that if that's not going to stop you from working out that he's a sinister wrong'un, I don't know how anyone can ever help you.
But I still think as well that people might make the argument that he did this once. Maybe he did know, maybe he didn't know. It doesn't mean that he's an unforgivable wrong-un that's only done horrible things in the subsequent 40 years since. He said that I made a mistake. I've as soon as he once he realised that she was that young, he feels guilty about it. He could still genuinely be mostly a nice guy. We know he's not.
Can I point something out?
People could think that he could be.
If he was such a great guy and it was all a big mistake and misunderstanding and oopsie daisy, he didn't know, why didn't he go, I didn't know. Like, he knew, he's known this whole time. The implication is, he didn't go, you were 15? I didn't know that. He knew she was 15 and he's known this the whole time.
Well, he says, you didn't look that young.
Yeah, so what? He's admitting he knew that she was 15 and he's known all along. And he never once went...
I don't know whether he has known all along.
No, because if you're any normal man, any normal person who got told, you slept with me when I was 15 when you were, and you were an adult, would go, oh God, I didn't know, this is awful. But he was like, I guess. He knew. This isn't news to him. He knew, right? The way he reacted, he knew. Because if he didn't know, he would have made a bigger fuss about distancing himself from this crime. Right? So he's like, he's too wrapped up in... He's so dumb he's not even defending himself from not knowing that she was 15. He admits that he knew she was 15 and says, oh, you didn't look it, which is disgusting anyway. What did she look? 16? Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the thing as well. If he genuinely says, sorry, I didn't realise you were 15, even her being 16, I don't know how old he's supposed to be.
18. They said he was 18, but I don't know. And it doesn't matter. It's all grubby and horrible. because she was being exploited, right? So that's the extra added cherry on top of this crap pie that we're supposed to be eating here. But so he at no point said anything to Cassie. Sorry about what happened. Are you okay? Like, I feel terrible. He at no point went to Tyrone. There's something you need to know about your. I want to have a relationship with you, but I've made a terrible mistake. He just let it all play out and hoped that nobody brought it up.
Yeah, no, totally.
So he knows he did something wrong, and he's not really repentant until confronted.
Well, even then he was barely repentant either.
No, I know, because he's just like, whatever, I'm cool. I'm a cool guy and nothing can faze me and everyone's gonna... He's kind of like Jodie. He's just like, yeah, so what? I stole your gun. So what? I've nicked a football and I got a picture of Bernie's face in a box.
Yeah.
You're the weird one if you think that's weird.
Tracy's reaction, it started off like she was doing the honourable thing and being mightily narked that her boyfriend, who I still don't buy her and Ross together.
No, I think it's weird.
I think in no universe, apart from in a universe where she's only going out with him to wind up Cassie, would she be seeing a guy like this. But the fact is that I think if she was only seeing her to wind up Cassie, she probably would have dropped him after this.
You said she's doing the honourable thing and saying, oh no, how terrible. To me, it wouldn't... I don't see how you would have to be performative about this. It would viscerally disgust me to find out that the person I was going out with
But I think Tracy did seem viscerally disgusted. I mean...
But she got over it pretty quick. What is wrong with her?
There's also the fact that when this happened, it was statutory rape, and the fact that what happened to Amy just a few years ago, you'd also think that Tracy would, be a little bit more anti that. But you're right. She says, "Look, I don't think you're going to get away with it this easily." This
is just such weird mixed messages from Coronation Street here. I assume that they are kind of expecting us to believe that Ross will get his comeuppance at some point, but they're continuously butting up against this problem where they're creating villains who get away with stuff. That's really problematic, and I think murders are so out of the ordinary that they feel like a fictional thing. Like they feel like, I know that they happen, but it's not the same thing as sexual assault when such huge percentages of women have been assaulted and raped by men, that this isn't something that you can just trot out as a sensational talking point and then say, don't worry, 6 months later Ross will get in trouble about this. It's like, really?
Oh, I was
okay then.
I was genuinely worried after this happened that Corrie didn't want to see us as a villain. I thought that the way this storyline was going was that Cassie was getting unnecessarily uptight about the fact that this guy was around, but he was a nice guy really, and maybe he made a mistake, but he was a nice guy really. So I was really glad that he revealed himself. Yeah, he revealed himself at the end of the episode, but also the fact that the age was brought up, because Cassie had been telling other people, or was it Steve? I don't remember, in previous weeks, or had she just been thinking it to herself? I don't know. This wasn't a loving relationship. I was on the game, but I don't want Tyrone to find out. I thought that they were going to avoid saying that she was 15. So I'm glad that
what you mean.
Because they wanted to make Ross not feel so bad, and I thought they wanted Cassie to feel like she was being, a little bit unreasonably annoyed by him being there. So I'm glad that was brought up, and I'm glad that the scene in the Ginnel happened at the end of the episode, because after Ross has managed to wheedle everyone around his little finger, he then confronts Cassie in the Ginnel, slams her up against the wall and says, if you try to get in between me and my son again, I'm going to kill you. And as much as I agreed with you, because we spoke about this at the time, that maybe Cassie would probably knee him in the balls if he tried to do that, I'm glad that they did something that made him
look bad.
Yeah, in no way are we as viewers now questioning whether he is...
We're not
possibly redeemable or not.
Are we supposed to think it's okay?
Yeah, this was him doing his big, I am a massive villain.
But why do
No questions
Tyrone and
asked.
Fizz think this is okay? Because they do.
Tyrone is happy to be reunited with the dad that he never knew, I suppose.
I wouldn't let him near my kids.
Yeah. Well,
They're like, oh, Granddad, will you look after the kids?
this comeuppance is going to be happening.
He literally hopes his potential girlfriend. Oh, that's girlfriend age, 15. What are you doing? Is he going to pass his DBS check? How's he getting his job at a prison?
It's not saying that Ross, as however old he is, nearly 60-year-old man, fancies 15-year-old girls.
It doesn't rule it out, Michael.
It doesn't rule it out.
You don't need
I
to
don't
take
think
risks.
it's implying
You don't
that
need to take
whatsoever.
Well, I don't care what you say. You don't need to take risks like this. You know Cassie's elaborate, stupid plan to poison him so he can
fail his drugs test.
She just needs to phone the police and say, "Hello, this man's a paedophile that raped me." He wouldn't get a job at a prison then, would he?
Oh, you're right. Her grand plan on Thursday and Friday. Okay, it was you could say
it's very Cassie.
It's quite Cassie in that she's reverted to the old poisoning that she.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
For a reason.
But realistically, she could have gone down a safer and more sensible route, or like when she was being accosted in the Guinness, she could have just screamed blue murder, couldn't she?
Yeah.
The question is whether anyone would have believed her.
Yes. He assaulted her that day. She could have phoned the police and said something. He would have been investigated.
I don't know why, even on Friday, when the whole drugs plan fell flat on its arse, or face, whatever part of its body you want, I don't know why Cassie didn't at that point say, well, he's not actually some good guy. Yeah, maybe I slipped up here, but he threatened me on Wednesday night.
Why is this a secret? I hate it when this happens. When a character threatens another character and they will say anything and do anything except say what actually happened, and there's never a motivation for it. Why is she okay to shout in the middle of his birthday party that he's a rapist pedo, but she is, apparently couldn't say that he threatened her in the Guinness? There's no logical explanation for this at all, because she's not in immediate danger when he's not there.
No.
And would Tyrone believe her? Probably yes.
I would hope that he would.
What is with this guy?
But they could, any of them could be very easily written to say, "Oh, I don't know whether I can believe you, Cassie," or you just want to get rid of him.
But the thing is, it's been established that she's not a fantasist about what happened because he admitted it. He tried to excuse it. He didn't deny it happened at all. So, if you're gonna. It's not, if he'd gone, no, I didn't, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That would have been a different story and it would have been more believable for her to not go and tell somebody this happened. But as it is, I'm sorry, but it's just silly.
That makes sense.
I said I was going to be positive, didn't I?
I know you did.
I forgot the storyline, stupid.
I enjoyed it as a Cassie story, but yeah, some of
Cassie.
the routes that it went down didn't quite work for me. So basically, Thursday's developments, like you said, was her trying to poison him by putting codeine from Tyrone's medicine cabinet in the smoothie that Amy's made. But
this is like, is Amy just really bad at smoothies? Because I think if I put codeine in your smoothie, you'd know.
If you tried to serve me a spinach smoothie, I'd be suspicious, whether you'd put anything in it or not.
No, it's supposed to taste horrible, Michael. Drink it.
So when she's trying to put these crushed up pills in there, she's kind of caught in the act, isn't she? Well, she makes a bit of a noise. Ross spies her darting out the yard.
She knocks the bag on the floor, leaves evidence, and is clearly visible leaving the scene of crime.
Yeah, not the
smartest move.
Not the toppest of criminals here, Cassie. So what Ross does is take the smoothie when Tracy's feeling thirsty earlier and says, "Oh, you go. You have some of this later. You have some of this." And again, you
have some of this disgusting smoothie.
Yeah, and then by the end of the episode, Tracy ends up in hospital.
Oh no!
Watch out for her kidney.
Wine and smoothie. Yes, please.
I think that something else that's maybe been brushed over a little bit. We don't need more evidence about how Ross is a wrong 'un, but the fact that he knowingly drugged his own girlfriend.
I know.
Like, there's no, oh, I didn't realise there. You can't excuse that, can you?
He's obviously really sinister. And it's just, the reason I'm mad about this is because it's the group of characters they've decided to put him with. I don't believe they'd act the way they're acting.
Yeah, I think
Tyrone and Fizz do not strike me as the sort of people who go, oh, well, it's 15, 16, innit? You know.
there isn't this story just calling out for Evelyn to be there. She'd knock their heads together,
I'm not getting involved in this mess. You're on your own.
I desperately love Evelyn.
Evelyn would, yeah, you're right. Evelyn would ruin
hat
this
into this
storyline
ring.
immediately by going, what, are we all on drugs or something? Can I have something you're taking? Because what are we doing with this man here?
Yeah.
Especially considering Cassie's her daughter, and she's would be thinking, you know, about my poor, you know, she fell into the wrong crowd, and this is what's happened.
Right, yeah.
Because the story is, it's not like Cassie was an entrepreneurial businesswoman at the age of 50 and decided to set up herself, you know, on the gate. She was being manipulated and pimped out by a group of boys, of men, wasn't she?
I think so, yeah.
She was... when she says paid me for sex, she actually doesn't mean that. She means somebody else sold me. Not that you can sell a person, but...
Yeah, no. But, yeah, I think Evelyn here would...
Go, no, this is all crap.
Can you imagine him pushing Evelyn up against the wall in the ginnel and her just sobbing away there?
No, she's strangling with her scarf.
Anyway, so Tracy ends up in hospital because Amy finds her slumped on the sofa. I think she's just drunk for a bit.
She did.
And Cassie's looking a tad worried by the end of it because she's
that might be the drugs.
This could have been something that I did here. So...
Can you not take codeine if you're doing a drugs test? I thought codeine's just a normal painkiller. I mean, it's not.
It was something that was prescribed for Tyrone after being hit by a car, wasn't
but
it?
you can get it. I've taken it for...
Well, no, codeine is definitely available, but I think this is special codeine.
Well, you can get it here over the counter. I think you can...
Yeah, but this was... Yeah,
you can go to the counter. You can go and go, hello, excuse me.
It's like Cocodamol, isn't it?
Can I get some nice drugs? And they say, well, only these ones.
So, yeah, I think there could have been other drugs that she could have slipped into the smoothie that would have...
It doesn't make
sense.
Been
a bit more of a black mark on his record.
Oh, well, you've got some paracetamol here. You want to be a prison officer?
I think it was suggesting that he had an addiction to prescribed medicines is what she was kind of going for here. But yeah, if she'd had a little bit of cocaine or something, she probably would have put that in herself. But it just wasn't available. She should have just knocked on Abby's door, see if she had any left over. I don't know. Maybe
it's one of those things where if they say to you, what have you taken? And you say nothing, and then there's codeine, then they would say, well, what's this then? Oh, it says here, it's an opioid that breaks down into morphine and stays in your system.
Fair enough. So anyway, Tracy wakes up in hospital and all the family's there, and she immediately thinks, well, I didn't take any codeine. Must have been spiked. Number one suspect, obviously Cassie. Makes sense.
She's damned herself here, hasn't she?
Yeah. She's come back to bite her in the bum, hasn't it? You think you got away with it, Cassie, trying to poison beloved nation's sweetheart Ken Barlow, but...
Poison one person and suddenly you're the main suspect. When Amy Barlow sat there, like butter wouldn't melt. Well, she's a spiker, isn't she?
I know, Amy is a total spiker.
Yeah. She's like, what was it? Oh, it wasn't me. That I do date rape drugs.
Just that one time, Gemma.
Only
just
once.
So Steve...
Well, in that case, everyone else except for Amy and Cassie's a suspect because everyone does it once.
In public, Steve is defending his girlfriend, Cassie, but you can see when he goes home, he's pulling his sad face, isn't he?
Oh,
he's doing his Ron Weasley, Carrie face.
Befallen me.
And when he goes rooting around in Cassie's things, he finds the pack in her cardigan. And I think, did she say that was the pack that she left? No, I think she just left the blister pack in the counter. Did she insinuate that she didn't put that in in the bag, and then it was maybe
she
the
said that
cardigan. Sorry, and
Ross
put
stuck
it
it in her pocket.
Yeah, so I can only believe that that's definitely what happened. So
no! Oh god!
Abby has just decided to jump on top of the keyboard there, but it's okay. I think it's fine.
She's written.
Don't think she's ruined anything. She's just written. Fine. Yeah. So so Steve finds out that
so she started a petition to sack Ian McLeod. Abby.
Steve has discovered that Cassie did indeed have a box of codeine in her cardigan, and so it must have been her. Really not happy. And then she gets confronted by this blister pack later, and she says, "Look, I just didn't want him to pass his drugs test. I didn't put the packet in my cardi." They don't believe her. Everyone has a go at her. Tyrone comes round, doesn't he? Because Steve's told him, "Oh yeah, your mum tried to poison your dad." So everyone's up against her.
That sounds like a schoolyard insult. Your mum poisoned your dad.
And poor old Cassie, again, still doesn't bring out the trump card of he pushed me up against the wall in the ginnel the other day. Instead, she just kind of sobs off, and at the end of the episode is left snivelling on the doorstep of number 1, telling Steve that she loves him, but he doesn't want anything to do with her anymore. So, is this the end for the romantic whirlwind that was Steve and Cassie? Seems that way.
I can't believe it. I'm gutted.
Did you feel in any way sorry or any sympathy towards Cassie towards the end of the week, or
yes.
were you kind of thinking?
Yes, she's like so many characters. I always say like Cassandra, where they're like, "Hello, this is what's going to happen."
She's exactly like Cassandra,
and everyone's like, "Shut up, you mad woman!" And she's literally like, "Oh, I was 15, and they're like, "Oh, but what kind of 15? Were you like one of the ones that look like, older, or were you like, no, shut up." She's 15. She said she was, yeah. There's no.
I've not
the way
seen...
he responded as well. Well, you didn't look 50. Okay, right, all right.
I've not seen very much in the way of internet reaction to this, but I know that Cassie has not had too many supporters over the. It's barely even divisive. I think it's like us on one side and the whole rest of the Coronation Street Watcher community on the other.
I don't think it's like that. I think
there's probably a lot of people that are thinking, well, she's got a taste of her own medicine here.
She was a victim, and she was, poison more people, I say. Poison more.
Right.
But first, you don't succeed, just bake a cake with it in. Gemma,
I would love you now to move on to the Idris and Sam storyline. Another real highlight of the week. Sam's back. This is the week when Weatherfield General just kind of discharged.
Yeah, get out, we're cleaning the floors.
Too hot, go home.
Come on, out Betsy, come on.
Off you go, Sam off you go.
No, we're not having any more patients.
We need to make room for Tracy.
Tracy's in, oh God. Right, so,
It was so over dramatic, wasn't it? Like Tracy, like the end of Thursday's episode being, "Oh no, is Tracy going to be okay?" She's being stretchered into the ambulance. Next episode, "Oh, she's fine. Yeah, she's okay."
I mean, Samir didn't die for nothing.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. So on Friday, Sam is coming home.
I would quite like if and when Tracy ever does shuffle off her mortal coil, I'd quite like her to donate or bequeath.
Bequeath the kidney
to someone else and just like pass it down the generations.
How long can we keep this kidney going?
Yeah, how many people, how many characters can that kidney filter the urine of over the years?
What a gorgeous legacy. So on Friday, Sam's coming home and Nick's worried that he's going to get upset when he tells him what happened with Sarah.
Yes.
Does he care that much? I mean, it's Auntie Sarah, but
I don't think we've seen enough of Sam and Sarah together to really.
I know.
Can you
imagine Nick sitting Sam down and going, "I'm really sorry to tell you this, but Auntie Sarah's killed Theo," and Sam going, "Which one's that again? Which one's that? How am I related to her?"
I suppose it's just having another villainous lady in the family, like.
Sam, did you want to go and interrogate Sarah about morality?
Megan, Sarah.
Whatever.
Not million miles.
Leanne and Tori are like, "Don't worry about it. He's not that bothered." So on Sunday, Sam's home and everyone.
He wasn't really, was he?
No, everyone's fallen over themselves to sort of make him feel okay, and he sees Idris's laptop on the side and says, "Oh, did you get a new laptop?" And Nick's like, "Oh, it's actually Leanne's friend's." So Sam and Leanne go to Victoria Gardens together, and he says, I feel really weird, like, having to get on with my normal life, and knowing that I've got to live with schizophrenia, and it's just part of who I am.
Sam, you new around here. It's going to get forgotten about.
She's like, don't worry about it.
It will flare up once a decade or
so. Did you know that Amy's lactose intolerant? No. You don't remember, do you? So, it's the same thing.
Bit of a difference, but I see your point.
He says, I don't know what normal is anymore, but I do want to meet a new boyfriend. So she introduces them. I still genuinely, I know this is probably really bad of me, I still genuinely do not see why Leanne has got this big fixation on Sam. Because most Coronation Street not adoptive parents, but parents, people who kind of in a relationship with the parent of somebody else, can't wait to get rid of them. But Leanne, she hated Sam at the beginning because of what happened to Ollie. And this was only, 5 years ago. And then she somehow managed to make it out that she's been Sam's only mother for his entire life. And really, they were only together, how long have Toya and Nick been together now and living together? A couple of years?
Yeah.
What's this window of time that she was Sam's, only beloved mother? About a year and a half?
No, it was during,
he
was very cute back then.
I don't buy it. It's another one. I know Leanne's like
just this. Because you would drop kick a child out of your life the moment you got a chance. No, I don't. No,
I think Leanne is just like a bit po-faced saintly Leanne here. I think that they're using Sam as a surrogate for Simon.
Yeah, maybe.
I really do think that, because I just like the way she was so negative towards him for so long, and then she was barely with Nick once she'd gotten over that, and now she's acting like she's the main parent when actually she's not Nick's partner anymore. Toya is in that role. And Sam's been living with them longer than he ever lived with Leanne. I
don't think it is. I think that he was living with Leanne for longer.
Well, Leanne put passports in a toaster, so she's got no leg to stand on.
She just wants to do her best for him.
But do you see what I mean? It just feels like, what are you doing here? Why do you think you're more important than Toya?
How many times have we seen Sam in his own flat with Nick and Toya versus how many times he's been in Leanne's flat over the past year?
Leanne's like, come on, Sam, I'm the only one with a set around here, so you've got to... It just rubs me up the wrong way, because I think that Toya would be just as maternal in this situation, and she actually...
But the story's not about Toya, is it? It's about Leanne's lovely new boyfriend, Idris.
I want more screen time for Toya.
I know you do.
Right, so it goes well. They have a meal. Nick's like, why are you doing this? This is a bit quick. Sam needs stability. And Leanne's like, well, we are stable.
Nothing dodgy about Idris.
She's terrible. With Idris, I think Leanne is being really awful. She's turned into like a giddy schoolgirl who's got all of her dangers, she's turned off all of the hazard lights, hasn't she?
She was worried slightly at one point, but I don't know.
She couldn't
I just think she's newly in love, and she's overlooking a few little clues.
She's so irresponsible for all this. Like, oh, I'm Sam's mum. I love him. He's the most important. I'm the main one. But I'm going to introduce him to this guy that I know has been involved in some kind of dodgy shenanigans, getting sued by somebody for letting their kid get sick and end up in hospital. And also, Sam doesn't even know this guy at all. And also, he's just come out of hospital with mental illness. What are you doing? You're not that great, Leanne. Let Toya take care of it, okay?
Right.
I'm sorry, it just really annoys me.
I know.
On Monday, Sam is up for going to see Harper for the coming home party, and Nick says to Leanne that Idris could... Oh no, Leanne's like, oh, could Idris come, I guess, and Nick's like, no. What? And also, probably Idris is like, no, it's okay.
I don't care about Harper coming home, actually.
I heard she's enormous, so that's kind of fun, but I could just see a photo with like a banana for scale. So when it's time for passing the baby around, David it's Sam's go next, and David's like, whoa, no, she's tired, let's go to bed. And Nick says, you don't trust him, this is really mean. And David's like, well, have you seen that notebook?
I think that the list of black marks against Sam is significantly shorter than that of Jodie at this point.
Did Jodie get to touch? Oh, she did, didn't she?
Yeah, by the end of the week, Jodie was left nannying this
but I
baby.
thought you're not supposed to... This baby has just come out of hospital, right? This is a vulnerable child who has had limited contact, right, with people and in a sterile environment. So the moment she comes home out of hospital, let's just pass her around every single person in the family, see how many diseases she can pick up in one go.
Got to build up the immunity somehow, Gemma.
Has anyone got a cold sore? Could you kiss her on the face, please? Just let the baby. We don't all need to touch it and breathe into baby's face, okay?
You're just finding anything to complain about this
I am
week.
a bit mad, yeah. So Sam gets really offended and goes and leaves, and then he goes and sulks in Victoria Gardens, which is where Idris finds him, and Sam immediately opens up to him about it, and he says that he's worried that David thinks he's dangerous and mentally unstable, and says I'll just have to get used to being different, which is a really sad prospect for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a young child.
I mean,
and many people have this realisation in their life at some point.
Sam's always been a bit different, though, hasn't he? But I think that he was maybe a bit too young to realise, and he's coming of an age now.
Thing.
Yeah, it is a different thing. It's different in a different way, but I think like at this age, fitting in is probably a little bit more important to him.
Well, yeah, and also he's realising that, I think a lot of people we don't know why. I mean, lots of people have said that maybe Sam has got some, on the autistic spectrum somewhere, and lots of people who live with autism have masking techniques that they use.
Yeah.
And Sam was probably, I can fit in if I just change the way I act, but this is completely outside of his control. He can't do anything
he can't
about
turn off his schizophrenia, can he?
No, well, I mean, he can take medication, but he's going to have to constantly.
Right.
And also, it's one of those things where if you meet somebody new, when do you say, something, here's a fun fact.
Well, what he needs to do is take a note out of Idris's book and try some boxing. Because apparently that's what got Idris out of being an outcast at school when he was younger.
Oh, Idris, was this schizophrenia that you overcame with boxing, or was it just being awkward?
I hope that they don't... I just don't like Sam being around Idris.
Do you think that
because he's clearly a dodgy sort?
Is this the beginning of the incredible adventures of the chess boxing club?
I wonder whether they're going to try and soften Idris by making him
but he's only just got in the
responsible
show.
Adult.
Why? He's only just got
here.
Well,
no, but that's sometimes what they do with new characters, isn't it? They bring them in and go, "Oh, look at this
he's
bad
only been
lad."
Here for 2 months.
But we suppose we better make him. He's going to stay here for longer now. We need to make the viewers warm to him. Let's put him with Sam. And...
No, he's still in the middle of being an arsehole, isn't he? Because he's hoodwinking Abby, and he's also getting
Mason, Brody to do his dirty work.
Yeah, Mason's dead.
Okay, Mason's not doing much at the moment.
Nick and Toyas turn up, and Sam says, "I've done some thinking, and I'm fine now."
Now, let's never mention again that I've got schizophrenia.
I mean, almost every story really could end with that, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Done some thinking, and now I'm fine. Leanne and Idris are in the pub later, and she's very pleased that he helped Sam out. And when she goes to the bar, Abby comes over and says, "Guess what? I'm
Remember the mould story?
Yeah.
Well, that filming block's round again, and I've not forgotten it."
Yeah. On Tuesday, Leanne is annoyed because Alia is decided to work at the restaurant, but she's not actually doing restaurant things. She's doing solicitor things. And she tells Idris that she doesn't think Alia cares about speed dial, and I don't think she ever did.
That was a bit of a came out of nowhere. I mean, I get that Alia's passion of the moment is law, but I think that she was properly into
she says it was Zidane and Yasmin's thing, not mine.
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah.
But from what we've seen of her in the past, I think that she has very much enjoyed working behind the counter at Speed Dial. But I suppose we haven't seen a whole lot of her. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a betrayal of her character, but
no, she's moved on. So Idris tells her that some people could make an offer on it. Think about it. So then later on they have a conversation, which was the stupidest moment of a stupid week, and he says, I'm not good at family stuff, like I didn't, and she's like, "Yeah, I noticed that when you didn't come to my dad's funeral." And he says, "Oh, Well, I'm surprised actually that your gran never told you that the truth after she left Sharif, that Sharif seduced his brother's wife, and I'm actually your uncle, not your cousin.
Ugh.
And I found this out when my mum left me a letter when she died to the solicitor, but Yasmin always knew and didn't say anything because she was a strong, independent woman who didn't want to admit her husband had an affair because it reflects poorly on her,
All makes
which is not very
perfect
feminist.
sense.
And Alia says, I'm going to call her up. Oh, she's on holiday in Pakistan.
But she
Idris
does the next day, doesn't she?
It just says, it's not going to change anything. And that's what everybody else says.
Yeah.
Yes, it won't. It won't change a thing. And then Leanne says, that's gross. You and Cal were brothers. And Idris goes, Eskimo brothers. High five. Oh, no, okay. Idris says, maybe this will make Alia lose a bit of loyalty to Yasmin and she'll be more likely to want to sell up. And then he confronts Adam later because he finds out that he's the solicitor that's suing him.
Representing Abby.
On Wednesday, Alia speaks to Yasmin. Story's been confirmed. That's so stupid. And Adam says to Alia about Adam, blah, blah, blah. And then Idris tells Leanne about the court case coming up. Maybe we shouldn't try to buy Alia out. Then Idris is trying to get...
That was another feel like, why did they do that then? Why was that a huge talking point?
Well, this is what I
in the
mean.
previous
This
episode?
It does feel a bit like that thing, like I said, that game where you fold a bit of paper over and then the person who's doing the next episode peels the paper back and goes, I'm not doing that. That's boring.
Yeah.
I'll just explain it. They're not doing that anymore. So Idris tells Brody he's got an easy money scheme, which is to make somebody get the message. So we then see Brody beating somebody up and leaving them squirming on the floor. We don't know who that is.
I don't know who it was. I don't know whether it was supposed to be somebody. At first I thought maybe it was Adam, but it wasn't because Adam was in the next scene. Yeah. But it was some guy in a suit. And it felt like there must be a reason why they didn't show his face because
it's anonymous. It's just a random man that you're not supposed to wonder.
Yeah, but usually if they want to just have some rando, they will not hide his face the way that they did.
It wrong then.
So I don't know whether I can't think who it could possibly be.
Was it £5,000 that he wanted off this guy? I can't remember, but he ends up offering Abby £5,000, and Adam says no, let's leave, and then Idris gets his money transferred from the guy who got beaten up by Brody. Now, let's remember here, he's got overheads, so he's not going to keep that 5k. He's got to pay income tax and put some money in a pension.
I don't think Idris cares about that.
He also has to pay his agent for being in Coronation Street, and he has to pay Brody.
Brody, yeah.
I don't think Brody's getting a big chunk of that 5k. But anyway, on Thursday...
Brody was such an idiot for doing it as well. Like, because he got the liking for it. I just can't... Corrie just seems to be flipping between, is Brody a good guy that sometimes is led down the wrong path, or is he just like a villain in waiting?
Is he young Gary?
Like, he didn't take very much persuading at all for that, but from the last 6 months, or so 12 months since Brody's been out of jail, Corrie's been, at pains to show that he's actually a good-hearted chap, haven't they?
Well, he's a young, vulnerable guy with no role models apart from Tim, who is obviously a pervert, and he's looking for he's got easy money here. It happens all the time. This is how kids get dragged into
beating people up in the street.
No, by being offered easy money to do things that get progressively more criminal.
Oh, it's going to be another county line story.
Well, yeah, and once you've done one thing, then you kind of compromised, and you could get the threat is that if you don't do something else, I'll go to the police and tell them what you did.
What I would say, my tip to Brody is don't beat somebody up like right at the end of your road, because he did it just by the Eccleston's hardware shop, didn't he? In Rosamond Street, and they had the two cars parked next to each other to try and hide it. But at least last time when they roughed someone up, they had the decency to take him to the wasteland. Yeah, this time it was just
Idris is like, look, I'm only getting 5k out of this. I can't afford a location shoot as well. So on Thursday, Abby's like, yeah, Adam, 5k is nothing. Alia says, actually, can I just point out that Idris has got a really good chance of getting away with this, because he could argue that he only just got possession of the place and it's not his fault. And Adam says, no, he is responsible, so it's his fault. But then Abby, this kind of works on Abby. So she goes to Idris and speed dial and confirms she's gonna settle out of court, but she wants him to give more money, and he says no, 5k is it, that's it. So she accepts it, and then Idris and Leanne come out this is like Leanne wants to slap here. She comes out celebrating about how happy they are that they've got one over on Abby, and he's only had to pay $5,000, and he's gloating to Adam about the fact that it would have been way more money if he'd lost in court, and it's kind of rubbing Adam and Alia's face in it. And at no point does Leanne go, oh, this is a bit gross. Like, number one, he's exploiting a single mum whose kid was in the hospital, and apparently I cared about that the other day, and now I don't give a crap. But he's also rubbing it in his niece's face and celebrating and kind of jeering like it's a victory when actually it's a really sad thing, and he's still had to pay £5,000 for being negligent and making Alfie end up with a horrible fungal disease.
Yeah, you'd think that Leanne would have known enough sleazebags in her life to
she should have his number.
Catch a few more of the red flags.
She's been around the block long enough to know a wrong one when she sees one. And somebody that exploits people, and not just anyone, but also children and vulnerable people. What is wrong with her? Yeah.
Again, like Ross, I'm sure he will get some kind of comeuppance. Well, I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to go the way of Carl, and they'll just smooth off the edges of him until he's
take him out of the show for 3 months until we forget what happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but
where is Carl?
He's just around. Maybe he's popped to Germany or something. I don't know. Right. I see. Considering we had 7 episodes, to talk about,
and
this
I've been
week,
moaning so much.
We really are flying through these. It was just not the most fun week, was it? But I did enjoy the stuff with Asher and Alia and Sienna.
No,
Asher and Nina and Sienna. Sorry, and Amy was sometimes in it just to, for whatever reason, 'cause she had to be in the episode with the smoothie. But basically, Asher is going out with Sienna again later, because they'd hooked up a couple of weeks ago, hadn't they? And she's going to have a proper date with her. And Nina says, look, just relax. Sienna clearly likes you. It's going to be fine. So she comes back later with Sienna, and they're rather tiddly. And Nina's like, then Sienna gets this phone call and has to rush off to the loo, doesn't she? And then makes a hasty exit.
It's my bowels.
Yeah, makes a hasty exit by the end of the episode. Thursday is basically the same again, isn't it? Sienna coming in, disappearing off again. She's got something mysterious that she's rushing off to. And there was the bizarre moment when Nina accidentally walks on the pair of them getting a bit amorous together as well.
Which was bizarre because it looked as though so I think Coronation Street is established now that physics doesn't exist, but that door I thought led to a little corridor that led to 2 bedrooms, even though that doesn't make any sense. What did Nina see when she opened the door? Were Asher and Sienna just like humping in the corridor?
Oh, was it the corridor door that she opened? Was it? I can't remember.
It was that door. Now. So there's in their flat, they've got the living room and the dining room space and the kitchen, and then on the left hand side is a bathroom, because we know that's there because we saw them.
That's where Theo got locked in.
And then the far on the right, the far door there, that is the door to the staircase that leads outside. Mm-hmm. Then there is one remaining door, but there are 2 bedrooms, and that door, I'm sure, at one point had a little corridor, because I thought that's what happened with when we saw Todd and Theo.
Yeah, when Todd was locked himself in the bedroom, Theo was snivelling outside, wasn't he, in the corridor?
Yeah.
I didn't think there were 2 bedrooms there. I'm assuming maybe there's another door on the 4th wall that we never see that leads to another bedroom.
But why would you need a corridor to get to a bedroom? Why not just make that the door to the bedroom?
Because it's really long and thin. And why would you want to have a long and thin part of your bedroom?
So you can hump in it.
Well, anyway, that's obviously what they were doing, and I'm wondering whether like Nina's gonna make a play on Sienna or something.
She's seen her in action. Who could resist?
She's seeing her in action. Sienna and alcohol.
Yeah, so this was cute. It was confusing because I don't think the layout makes sense, but I think this is a very relatable. Any young person who's lived around other young people, may at some point has opened a door they shouldn't have opened and seen something they didn't want to see.
Yeah.
So Nina's like, oh, and then runs away. And I thought it was a really cute reaction because she was smiling.
Nina has been so fun these last few weeks. I've really, really enjoyed seeing her having a little bit more to do.
Pretending to arrange the ornaments out of embarrassment.
Yeah. Literally all we've had of Nina for, 5 years, maybe 4 years, is her serving things in the cafe and hanging around with Roy and occasionally going on the odd back jaunt. It was really nice to see her just doing stuff with people her own age and having friends and having fun and kind of not on duty and relaxing.
Yeah, like her private time.
Yeah, and I've never gone off Nina, but
Corrie seems to have.
Corrie seems to have gone off her, and this story these past few weeks has reminded me that she is just kind of chilled and fun. And the amount of Nina that we could have had these past few years, but Corrie decided, we only needed her for the hate crime story. It's a real shame. Molly Gallagher is really charming.
It is really annoying because they've done this a few times in recent years where they've set up a group of kids in a flat, and even though I'm not that age group anymore, I still really enjoy watching their antics.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy, I think that coming of age stories, not that don't involve choking, are really actually relatable and fun, and it's like, I liked watching the very early Balm Cake Girls, Sheila and
Dory.
Dory. I loved watching them together, listening to their records and talking about boys, and even like Gail and Trisha. And there've been some really great groups of young people. And then they set up, didn't they? That with
Jacob and Amy and
then
Summer
it just went
in the
absolutely
flat. That never
wrong.
went anywhere.
They just keep teasing it and then taking it away. I think that it would be really lovely if we could watch Asha and Nina, and then they're visiting, like Amy comes in, and I think it's really sweet.
Yeah, but by the end of this week, there's a big fallout, isn't there, between Nina and Asha, because Nina realises on Thursday that this money that she put her tips in an envelope has gone missing, and then she accuses. Well, she says, the only person that's been here apart from me and you has been Sienna, so it must have been her. But then on Friday, when the money is found safely in a drawer of, drawer of the flat, Asha has a go at her and saying, you're just jealous. You're just being a jealous ex. You can't bear to see me moving on with someone else. And Nina is just kind of left looking very sheepish. And it's not the sort of thing that necessarily would mean that these two can't possibly live together anymore, but I have a feeling that when we come to see these pair again on Monday, there's going to be a bit of a bad air between them.
There was also go on.
No, go on.
There was a weird exchange between Sienna and Nina when Nina says, "Have you seen my wages? Like, there's an envelope of money, that's my wages."
Oh, yeah.
And Sienna goes, "Oh, what, are you a window cleaner?" And Nina says, "You know very well where I work. Those are my tips." I thought that was, what is Sienna's problem? Why is she being a bitch?
I don't think she was thinking, she was just joking.
I thought Nina was great putting, "You know very well where I work."
Yeah.
Of course why would you say that about somebody you knew worked for tips or had tips at their job?
Well, I guess as somebody who works in the public service, maybe she doesn't.
She's never been to a cafe before.
Oh no, she doesn't necessarily know what happens to tips. She's left tips, which doesn't know that they get paid in an envelope.
Oh,
but I don't know. I'm just again being the devil's advocate here and defending Sienna. I don't think Sienna is going to be a bad guy.
No, I don't. I just thought it was an uncharacteristically bitchy comment.
Maybe she just wants to get her own back on having been walked in on the previous day.
Yeah, where do you work? A peep show?
So Sienna's got a secret, and I will be very upfront at this point and say I accidentally saw a spoiler online yesterday, so I believe I know what Sienna's secret is, so I can't possibly...
Well, I was telling you that I think she's secretly got children.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I don't want to say anything. But I think what we can be confident of is she doesn't have a secret partner anywhere else, because Nina says that, doesn't she? She's like, maybe she's married or something.
Oh,
so the fact that
rules that out.
Yeah, the fact that it has been brought up in dialogue means that it can't possibly be that, or maybe it can. I don't want to say what
married
the spoiler is.
Married to a man.
I am actually kind of intrigued. I don't want to say anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing.
It would be weird if she was.
If this spoiler that I've seen is true.
With children, and Asha never realised.
Yeah.
Because they were very close when they worked together.
Yeah. Let's.
I want to know what it is now. Is she secretly? I know what she is. I know what it is.
I'll tell you after I call them if you want.
She's breeding parrots.
Oh, you got it. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
Anyway, more please. Let's have less Jodie. Please, less Jodie. And just more adventures, more low-key, light-hearted, caperish adventures of Nina and Asher. And Sienna can come along if she wants to.
Yeah, she can
Amy, definitely. Amy sitting there the other day was almost like a desperate attempt of, oh, please, can I be in this story, any story?
My mum's been poisoned by a paedophile. Can I be in this story, please?
I can't. Look.
What?
Nothing. We had a tiny bit of Betsy this week, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was the old flashcard scene on Thursday, which lots of people very much enjoyed. I thought it was quite fun.
She's insulting Roy's costume.
I thought that was... You didn't like that, did you? Like, why on earth would they have a flashcard?
Picture of his coat.
I like totally dramatic license. I thought that was funny, and the look that David Nilsson gave when he was like, "Oh, that's like mine." I thought that was funny. I loved it. But why Betsy would say that's ugly rather than saying a coat. Especially when Roy's sitting right there wearing it.
Bit of tortured joke, if you ask me.
But Carla being a very lovely, supportive mum. Again,
Lisa's been stitched right up with this story, hasn't she? Because there's Carla being supportive and like patient and loving and like caring about her mental health, and then there's Lisa going next door and laughing when my daughter's sad. How could they? She can't eat pizza. Is that not for her? Is it?
No.
Why is Lisa always written like this?
They're keeping her in character. This is where they've put her.
And she's also... I don't get also why she... Because Betsy comes home on Friday. Am I supposed to be doing this?
Yeah.
She comes home on Friday and Lisa's opened her post, which is fair enough. And she... Well, I mean, she's in the hospital and she doesn't know...
Well, especially if it was because it was to do with this course, wasn't it? And it could be something that's important. It could be
like, we've taken £10,000 out of your account, thanks for the tuition fee, So... See you in September. Yeah, so she's got this thing going, come in September. And Betsy's like, I'm not going anywhere. And Lisa's like, oh, don't you know, you could be fine. No, she's not going to be fine, is she? Just tell them and defer it for a year.
Yeah.
And then Lauren comes round. Well, I like Lauren because she said, I've brought some ciders. And Lisa's like, well, Betsy can't drink alcohol. And she's like, well, it's not for her, it's for me. Yeah, I would have a cider with Lauren, I think. Yeah.
Lisa does say that she just needs to explain to the course people what happened. And there was but not all the details, of course.
Yeah, no, I thought that would be a bit tricky, wouldn't it?
Although they weren't, she wasn't shy about broadcasting it all and sundry just a couple of weeks ago when she was accusing Dylan.
Yeah, can you just imagine Lisa writing in excruciating detail to the fashion, the person who's coordinating the courses at the university, and she opens this envelope and it's just full of all these printouts about the dangers of choking, and the administrator's like, I want to quit.
I try and get around it with fashion, right? You're really into the latest trends. Well, trends in the bedroom at the moment. Have you heard of anything?
55%. Okay, so
they get it. They got the finger on the pulse. Have the fashion industry.
Well, this is part of the problem, Michael. It cuts off circulation.
What?
Having your finger on the pulse.
Oh dear.
So Lisa asks, Lisa's like, they're all having a fun time next door, and she's like, can you shut up, please? Betsy's only just come out of hospital.
Yeah.
And Betsy earlier was like, I want to hear the sound of laughter.
I didn't know whether to merge this story with the Debbie one or not, because it did kind of over the fence get together, didn't it?
I did think that both Sally and Lisa were being a bit annoying in that scene, because Lisa was saying...
Sally wasn't.
Yeah, Lisa was going, can you please shut the hell up? Because I actually don't think it was Betsy she was worried about. I think she's just annoyed, like I would be. Can you shut up? And then Sally's like, hi! Yeah, okay, we'll be quiet. La 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 la. Be quiet then. Be quiet then. It involves you doing something. You either turn the music off and go inside, or you say, no, I'm not going to be quiet, and carry on.
They were not being in any way unreasonably raucous.
No, I agree with you. But when somebody says to you, could you shut up, please, because my daughter's come out of hospital and she wants to be sad, you don't go, okay, and then carry on exactly the same as you were before, do you?
Yeah, I suppose not.
You either decide this is an unreasonable request and I'm not going to do it, or you say, okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And then also, they did end on a bit of a, Lisa going, "Oh, am I being a bit of an overprotective mum?" And they say, "Yes, you are." And she goes, "Okay, I'll stop."
But will she though? Will she really?
I mean, it was nice. I feel really bad for Betsy. It was nice to see her again outside of the hospital, but she's just so sad, and the makeup is fantastic.
I
tell you what, that house is costing them so much money at the moment with the burns and the stroke.
With the what?
With the makeup department. How much budget is going to Ryan and Betsy?
Oh yeah. I really like the scene where Betsy first arrives on the street and Debbie's there because she's back from her jolly holes today, isn't she?
She's been on holiday. It's
been a very long holiday, yeah.
I think she probably started some wildfires.
If I was staring death in the face, I'd probably have gone to Cannes for longer than 3 days this last weekend.
Holiday of a lifetime.
Anyway, no. So first she's like, "Tell me what's been going on," and when Sally and Tim's try and tell her, she says, "Well, what did she say about Betsy?" And she's like, "No, I only want to know upbeat news." But when she sees Betsy later, she's actually really nice with her and gets down with her on her level and just like, "Oh yeah, it's really horrible when people speak differently to you and you're not very well, isn't it?" And I love that little bonding moment. And Lisa's just desperately trying to do the right thing, but worried that she's being overprotective. And
Lisa's there going.
And Carla's like still a bit of a fish out of water with this whole mothering thing, but a bit, and thinking, well, I need to do the right thing. I don't want to let Lisa down. But Debbie was just like, probably one of the first people that's spoken on the level to her. Lauren certainly hasn't. She's just been criticising her, hasn't she? And saying, well, why aren't you throwing the book at, getting your mum to throw the book at Dylan? So yeah, it was lovely to see a friendly face for Betsy.
Betsy again has been sidelined, hasn't she? Because, Carla has to say, she brings the food out, Sally gives them pizza, and then Carla brings it over, and then Lisa's like, she can't eat pizza. And then she says, "Look, Betsy can tell us what she wants. Don't worry about it."
She only gave him about 3 slices anyway, didn't she? And there was, 5, 6 of them around the table?
They were burned. Would you like a goat's cheese and artichoke pizza from Sally Metcalf?
I would hate a goat's cheese and artichoke pizza. Don't even think about it. Yeah, so Sally's got this new surprise to unveil and gets the gals around her garden.
I felt bad for her because they were very underwhelmed by this pizza oven.
I know. What? And it didn't really serve any narrative purpose for them to have been underwhelmed by it as well.
I was excited.
They ended up just having a pizza together. And what were they expecting? Mary's praying for a naked statue of Ben Shepherd was quite funny. But yeah, I would think it was great if I had a friend.
We do have a friend with a pizza oven. We were excited because they gave us pizza.
We have got a pizza oven of our own.
Yeah, I know.
That we've used once, maybe. But I think if I went to a friend's house and they revealed this...
I know. What is wrong?
I would be very... I'd be very happy with it. I don't know what they're expecting. But anyway, this was just some opportunity for some lovely, much needed, much overdue, light-hearted banter between Debbie and the girls. Like when they even had the scene about where they were talking about choking, weren't they? And
God.
Who was it? Sally and Bernie? I can't remember. Mary talking about how they learned about the birds and the bees from their parents.
Yeah.
It was just such a light relief.
I thought it was funny when Fizz said, "Yeah, it was my mum who taught me about the birds and bees," and she was Scylla, like TM. Like we're also like, oh yeah, Scylla, the character from Coronation Street, rather than an actual person who was called Scylla.
Anyway, that was all good, and then the rest of them turn up, Bernie and co, and the pizza oven's unveiled. They tease us with getting the actors into the hot tub, but alas, we never get to see it, do we?
Health and safety.
The fact that they put the hot tub on and had it bubbling away, but they didn't want to get the actors to actually have a dip.
Surely all boiling in those dressing gowns.
Yeah. I don't know why those scenes couldn't have been filmed in the top hot tub, but hey.
Maybe they didn't want to get in the hot tub for your pongy pervert gratification, Michael.
The main drama, if you can call it that, is that when Tim comes over in his chef's hat, Debbie doesn't realise who it is. She's been talking about these waiters where's she been, Italy? Mm-hmm. With their tight trousers, and she gets Tim confused with one, maybe. I suppose in her brain she's thinking about waiters, perviness, her own perviness,
I don't
getting
know.
it confused with Tim. But yeah, basically, she's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And they have to say, "This is Tim. This is Sally's husband." And she's just like mega embarrassed by this, and says that I'm really sorry. Maybe it's the alcohol that's making it worse for me. The doctors did say that I couldn't. I'm going teetotal now because whatever time I've got left, I want to remember every single bit of it.
To be honest with you, ever since she has had a diagnosis and they said to her alcohol makes it worse, I've seen that woman drink more than I've ever seen her drink.
I don't remember her being told that.
I do, because I remember thinking, I don't want to get dementia then. If you missed me with that. No, but she was told this, and she did make a comment about rationing it, but then she's just been boozing the whole time, which is totally understandable.
I would say Debbie doesn't need alcohol. I think that she's high on life.
Well.
And, as a teetotaler of myself, I might say, who does need it? But
alcohol. Who needs it?
I wouldn't want to deny Gemma's of one of her, great pleasures
in
life. But she loves all things. She has joie de vivre in everything that she sees.
Maybe she could start taking codeine.
Yeah, maybe. The doctor didn't say anything about that.
I heard it turns into morphine.
This was, I guess, the next step, wasn't it? We've never seen her not know who somebody is. What's the worst that we've had? There's been the...
She didn't know. She didn't She didn't know who Ronnie was.
When?
She didn't recognise. She thought she called him a man. I think it was because he was from behind. He looked like Sarah Platt.
No, you're thinking of the scene where she just forgot his name, didn't she?
Right, that's
she was
right.
like, man. So
yeah,
she knew who he was.
Right.
But so it's only been words, and she was saying that because she didn't want to go on holiday because she was worried about showing herself up. But when she was in Italy, it didn't matter because she only had to point at things anyway because she doesn't speak Italiano. But we've never seen her not recognise a person. So this is the next step.
Yeah. And then
and hopefully it's going to be a long time before something like that happens again. And they were still able to make a joke out of it.
Poor Debbie.
Yeah. Sucks, doesn't it?
It does.
Really sucks. I don't know whether her binning alcohol is going to
make a difference
to anything.
Can't hurt.
It's like, is it just going to be exactly the same scenes, but she's swigging back orange juice instead of wine? If that's all it is, fine. What I don't want to see is any kind of temptation or her overdoing it and Ronnie finding her passed out in a drunken stupor on the flat. I don't need that. Keep the storyline as light as possible for as long as you can, because everybody loved this. This was clearly like one of the top scenes of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This week on Corrie was just more misery and subterfuge and people trying to get one over on someone else, and this was just nice people having fun together.
And
eating homemade pizza, and that's what we need on Corrie. A little bit more of that.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Right, talking of pizza and food, Ollie's here.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget him. He's got 3 scenes on Sunday's episode.
Working at Speed Dial.
Mm-hmm.
And Alia didn't know, and she's not very happy about it because she's got to give him an induction and she's got stuff to do, which is lawyer business about boundary disputes.
It turns out that he does quite a good job, doesn't it?
He's amazing.
Could have put this on the Idris story, to be honest, but oh well.
Ben finds out that he's working there by coming in to borrow some lemons, which apparently is a common thing. And he's absolutely furious because Ollie's working for the competition and Ben's not giving this up. He's still mad about it. Why? What competition is Speed Dial to...
Well, I think Ollie says
Rovers.
He says that as soon as Speed Dial start... No, he says when the Rovers start selling Pecora or whatever, then maybe the...
But equally, why does Ben, who owns the pub, not know his son, who's also his head chef, has left and is not working there anymore?
Yeah, did they not notice?
He's like, I need to borrow some lemons. Ollie, that reminds me, there's no hot pot. Why are you here cooking something different?
They've shown so little of this. I don't know whether it's a part-time, one plays part-time and the other plays situation, but thankfully they didn't want to drag this Ollie story out for any longer than 3 scenes on Sunday. So,
now that Ollie has got, getting fed up with it and Idris wanted to buy her out, I wonder whether Ollie will buy.
Oh, yeah. That's
Alia
not
out.
a bad point.
Give him something to bloody do, though.
Because I don't see what the benefit of Idris owning speed dial is, other than just
No.
keeping it in the family. He's not got...
Well, he's her uncle, so...
Well, I know.
Now
But
he's her uncle.
he says that
different.
Alia's not that into owning speed dial. She's more interested in lawyering. Why would he want to make the move from property development to this?
Well, lots
or was
of
it
people...
Leanne that wanted to buy her out? Maybe
Leanne
it
didn't
was
want Leanne didn't want to... Honestly, the only reason Alia's stayed in this job for so long is because she likes lording it over people, and being the owner of the restaurant gets you get to look down your nose at everybody that comes in. So why would she give that up?
Oh well, I don't know. Right.
We've done it now.
We've done it. That was this week's Corrie, and I think we've done a fairly good job of squeezing 2 extra episodes into pretty much the amount of time. In fact, I'm going to say that our last couple of weeks' Street Talks would lasted even longer than this.
Well, this is because we didn't have to
episodes.
discuss whether it's good or bad to put codeine in someone's drink because you saw it on the internet.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We didn't. I can't say that I'm going to be scoring this week's particularly high. I'm going to say that a lot of it was a bit of a slog to get through. But the end part of the week definitely was better. Like the Thursday and Friday's episodes were somewhat more enjoyable than the beginning of the week. And like I said, it was directly proportional to the amount of Jodie that we saw on screen. I'm going to give this week's Coronation Street 2.5 naked statues of Ben Shepherd out of 5. And I'll leave it to your imagination of which half of the statue is the half.
Oh, God.
What about you?
You remember, right, everyone remembers the story where Gail accidentally orders hundreds of bowls of olives. I feel like that's what Corrie did with Jodie. They were like, everyone loves Jodie, don't they? You just order 100 and now they've got too many Jodies.
Do you remember the days when Coronation Street would film like 3 weeks in advance? And we are going back 20, 30 odd years now. I do wonder then whether they would spot audience reaction to things more easily and, you know, divert or change direction with unpopular stories. Because they've certainly
had 7 months for this now.
I know, but I think if you're like filming 8-9 weeks in advance, it'd be less wise to say to go on initial reactions because they think, oh, I'm sure they'll warm to them, or we've already got so much in the can. I don't agree
necessarily with changing. Like I said many times, I really don't think you should change what your plan is based on the audience reaction, which is why I think the survey's a waste of time.
They definitely would get rid of characters if they weren't popular.
Yeah, they would.
Like they did with the Hopkins family, like they did with the Masons, going back 20 years or so. And I think, I don't know. I just wonder whether it was to do with the distance or the lack of distance between filming and broadcast that helped that be easier to do.
Here's a question. What is the point of the surveys if I presume that they are asking people, what do you think of Jodie? I cannot believe anyone's going, 100% brilliant. Why is she still in the show there? What is the point of the survey? I really, my conspiracy theory is it's a load of crap. But my conspiracy theory is also that they ignore the bits they don't want to hear and they just use it to confirm what they want to do,
but maybe
and justify it to the bosses.
Maybe the YouGubbers are really liking Jodie.
We don't know whether it's YouGov.
As Ian McLeod says,
I haven't seen a Corrie one on there.
I mean, not for a while.
No.
As Ian McLeod says, is this hatred? No, it's not hatred. It's not hatred. It's just fed upness with Jodie, just coming from a tiny proportion of Twitter viewers who Ian McLeod has already been on record as saying don't care what they think, or words to that effect.
I far be it from me to defend him in this, but you definitely get a different impression of Coronation Street when you talk to somebody who watches it who doesn't go on internet.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like they have a completely different
like the dinner ladies that I talked to at school.
Yeah, like totally different world. But that doesn't mean that the people who are on Twitter don't know what they're talking about.
No.
And it doesn't mean you can ignore them because they shape... Like, all of these articles that we read out at the beginning are all based on what people on Twitter said or Facebook.
Yeah. So it can be easier if you're interacting with other Corrie viewers online or just looking at other viewers online. It can be easy to be swept up in like a tide of opinion, probably, isn't it? It's like, oh, Swala's popular, is it? I think I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. And, you know, I'm not saying that the only Swala fans out there are only doing it because everyone else is, but it's easier to do that than if you're watching it in a void, like these dinner ladies at school or like...
yeah, there may be lots of
some
people,
other people that
really love
watch it.
Lisa and Carlo who don't even know what Swala is.
I know, God, just imagine discovering that.
Oh my God.
I found my people at last.
I'm going to buy a t-shirt.
Anyway, what's your score for the week?
Well, what did you give it? 3?
I gave it
3.
Did I give it 2? I think I gave it 2.5 naked Ben Shepherd statues, didn't I? Are you going for 3?
No, 2.5 as well.
Okay.
2.5. 2.5 weeks it should have been an email.
Fair enough. Character of the week this week. Oh.
Debbie?
Yeah,
Coming in at the end of the...
She really did just swan in and save the week. Like, I mean, it could be easy to say Cassie because she was a No?
I think she's undergoing character assassination at the moment.
Uh-oh.
I do.
Just by...
She's letting Ross walk all over, and she wouldn't do that.
She is a bit. We did say that the poisoning was in character, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Cassie more than you did this week.
No, I love it.
But you know, I might give a shout out to. I think, you know, Debbie's had a lot of characters of the weeks. She was only in it for one episode. I'm gonna give a character of the week to Nina this week because honestly, I really enjoyed Nina for what little we saw of her. There was a good few days in it, and she made the wrong call about Sienna stealing her money. But I found her entertaining and light relief. And Debbie's kind of an obvious one. But if you want to go with Debbie, you go for it because she was absolutely fantastic and really buoyed the show up on Friday.
I want to give mine to the world's biggest baby, Harper Platt.
Are you going to?
I am going to give it to Harper.
I'm going to get Rebecca messaging us and saying, was Gemma serious when she wanted to give Harper the character of the week? So can you go
Rebecca,
on record?
This is your confirmation
for your spreadsheet.
But I need you to write Harper, the world's biggest baby. Thank you very much. Okay.
So last week you gave it 0 out of 5.
Yeah, I did.
This week you're giving character of the week to Harper, the world's biggest baby. I'm starting to think that you're not taking this seriously, Gemma.
It's like it bordering on disruptive, isn't it?
Right, we've made it. Normal service will resume-ish next week. So that is Street Talk over for the week.
What did you think? Tell us.